Hey, what up, decisive marketers? Do you run Google Display Network ads? Right, if you do, then one of the biggest problems that we all face is we have to upload multiple sizes of the same ad banner to Google. Right, and that's a huge problem because we spend a lot of time cropping, resizing the individual layers so that we can have the size of the ads just right for Google to show them on the GDN campaigns. Okay, now this is the biggest solution here, right? And it's called quick banners. Okay, quick banners. And what quick banners does is that it allows you to set the individual layers and have it mapped onto all the different dimensions of the ad image that you need for Google, right? But before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. And if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the links in the video description to join my Facebook groups. Now, so let's dive in to Google Display Ads first, and then we're going to be talking about quick banners. Alright, so this is a Google, we are in the Google Ads help right here, and these are the different sizes that you want to be uploading to Google, and there's so many of them right here. You've got 200 by 200, 240 by 400, and you can see this is like everything that you want to create if you are going to show ads as leaderboard ads, skyscraper ads, right, square and rectangle ads, and mobile ads as well, right? So that's like probably close to 20 different sizes of images you got to upload to Google, and that's a huge pain, right? That's a huge pain, especially for your designers. So the solution is quick banners, right? And quick banners makes it really simple and easy for you to create those GDN ads, right, that cost a little money for you to run, right, and gives you a really good ROI on your ads, and you definitely want to run those ads, right? However, because you got to upload so many different sizes, it's a huge pain every time you have an ad campaign. So with quick banners, it probably cuts short your time by like 70%, right? So all you need to do is to choose a layout that you like, right? You just got to choose a layout that you like. So for example, if you were to let's say this is your ad, all you need to do is click on it, okay, and you just have to change individual elements in there, and it will be mapped out onto every single sizes of the ad images over here. All right, so the first one would be, let's say you want to change this image over right here. We can select between pixels or Pixabay stock images, right? So let's say we're gonna find, and let's search for education. So this is something that I face with quick banners because they are in a beta phase right now. Okay, so when I type, okay, you would see that the scroll bar appears and disappears every now and then, and my screen kind of juggles a little bit, right? Can you see that? Right, so that's an issue with quick banners right here. And if I click on search, okay, then we got a bunch of images right here, and let's say we want to use this one, okay, and I just got to click on this and it shows everything in here, right? It shows everything in here, okay, and I can change different stuff right here. Let's say I want to change the background color to a different color of blue. Maybe not this one. Let's try something like this, okay, right? And then the icon color, we can use white, for example. Okay, and this is the stock images. You can change, let's say if you have a background image, you can upload one, right? And then you can change the opacity of the images as well. Let's say you know, what's your blend mode. Okay, so you can set that up right here. You can upload your own logo as well. So let's say we are going to upload my logo right here. Right, let's see, I'm gonna use this one here, right? And then we've got my logo in there. Okay, so it looks a little bit small. Okay, it looks a little bit small here, right? And then I got to resize this, right, before I upload it, right, so that we can, you know, get this looking great right here. Okay, so we can change every single individual element here. Right, let's say I change the text here. Okay, then the heading text, right, the paragraph text, feature text, right. Okay, so this is the paragraph text. Learn about upgrade your skills with this, let's say learn digital marketing and create your own income. Okay, let's say this is right, and then we can put a feature line here, which is you can put the address, like your web address. Okay, so you can see that there are some you know, sizes that don't work really well right here, right? And this is quick banners, right? This is quick banners right here, and it's a very simple tool, right? And then once you hit download, it will actually download this entire image pack into a zip file for you, and you can just upload it to Google Display Ads very quickly and have your ads running immediately, right? So the next one they have is social ads, right? Social media ads. So if I were to click on this one, okay, click on the image. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, let's try a different one. Let's try this one here. Okay, I guess what's going on is that it doesn't seem to be working so well right now. Okay, because this is still under development, so this social media ads is actually not working right now, right? So just the display banners, okay, just the display banners is a very simple tool, right, that you can just upload your product, and then, you know, specify your call to action, and basically all the images would be mapped out very nicely onto your all the different sizes of ad images that you require for your GDN ad campaigns. Okay, and I would say that quick banners, they do have some issues, right? There isn't many editing features, right? So we can't actually edit every single small little images. Okay, maybe like for example, my URL is too long. I can't change the font size so that I can fit it in nicely in the image itself, right? Let's say maybe just 3 different sizes doesn't look good. I can just tweak that individually. Okay, so that, I think that is what quick banner is lacking. Okay, is lacking right now to actually have to actually create something powerful that you can, you know, put up a ad image very quickly within, we are talking about like minutes, okay, for your GDN campaigns. And I think that's a really you know, time saving tool for GDN campaigns, right? So and pretty much this is quick banners. I think I I would say that I'm still pretty impressed with what you're able to achieve with quick banners. And if you Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in today's video we're going to be talking about a video maker, video editor, and it's called FlexClip. Right, so FlexClip gives you tons of templates, and it comes with stock footage, stock images, stock music that you can easily grab and insert into your videos, right? And create something very quickly for your social media ads, social media posts, and for other purposes that you require. Okay, so we are going to be diving into FlexClip very soon, but before that, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. And if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the links in the video description to join my Facebook groups. Right, so let's dive in to FlexClip. Right, so here I am in FlexClip, and it's a very simple tool. You can start by working from scratch, or you can create from templates. Right, so which is what you want. Let me just bring down the volume a little bit. Okay, this should be fine. Okay, because it's a little bit loud on my end here. Okay, right, so they've got these videos here. Okay, so that you can actually pick and choose for what you need. Okay, so different let's say these are social media posts, right? And the awesome thing as well, it's you can quickly resize it for different sizes that you need for your videos, right? So these are like full screen mobile videos. There are videos for a square image, square kind of videos as well for your social media, right? So you can change the aspect ratio as you want, right? So when you pick one of these, right, and then you can just go in and make changes to the images, make changes to your text, and your music, your videos, and the animation. You can just pick and choose and edit from there. And what I've done actually is to create a YouTube intro, right, for my upcoming gaming channel, right? So this is the one that I have over here. Okay, so I've actually spent some time to create a video for my intro, right? One thing cool about FlexClip compared to their competitors, right? So there are other alternatives such as InVideo and other different tools like maybe Ophio, maybe similar tools that use templates to create videos. Okay, you will see that the way that they work is a little bit different. The first thing that they have is actually a sort of a desktop kind of app that you can actually make use of. Okay, so this one actually make use of so for example, if let's say FlexClip is running a little bit slow for you, you can actually make use of this desktop app that that you can actually download and make use of. And this actually make use of your processing power, so that when you are editing videos, it actually is faster with the with the process, right, rather than making use of their server on FlexClip's end. So this is something that I've created. Okay, so let me just play the entire video. Okay, so it's a very simple intro video, right here. Let me just see what I can do here, right? So okay. Okay, so let's try and play this again. Okay, so there you go, right? So the text is appearing correctly here. Okay, so while I was actually working on this, I realized that there are some issues. There's a small little bug where when my so this you know, this background over here, right, with the Instagram image and the text here, this is actually not the text seems to appear without the animation, so I had to make some adjustments and then undo it, and then it starts loading correctly, right? So that's a small little bug that I've come across, but otherwise I don't see any problems. So over here on the left, you've got the templates for your videos that you want to make use of. Okay, and you got media, so this you know, you can upload your own logos, your own images, or even other stock photos, stock videos from other libraries that are not integrated with FlexClip. Okay, so so for example, I uploaded my logo in here. I'm just using my business logo here. This is the, you know, because I don't really have a logo made for my Twitch channel yet. And then we've got text, right? So you can insert text in here, right? You've got overlays, you've got elements, right, such as inserting some smaller animated images in here, and then background, okay, and music. So you can change the music if you want. They got stock music, you can upload your own music as well, right here. And they've got a huge library here, I would say, right? Lots of different categories to choose from. Okay, right, lots of category you can choose from, right? And you know, everything you can easily search for them. The interface for FlexClip is really nice. That's something that I would say. You can insert a watermark image or text as well on your video, and you can, you know, change the sizes and you know, the kind of videos that you want. Okay, you can just change it easily, and they do tell you, you know, what kind of what kind of social media platform is it good for. For example, 16:9 is good for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I think this is Snapchat, is it? I can't remember, right? And then LinkedIn, and then, you know, you've got this different ones over here. Okay, and you can just edit the videos from there. Okay, and then every single element, you can tweak them, you can move them around like this. You know, you can change the text in there, right? You can change the text in here. Okay, you can make changes. It's a very simple tool, right? You can change the motion, where is it coming from, you know, change the color, right? Very simple tool that, you know, just does the job, right? You can change the image, change the text, and it's a very simple tool, but it gets the job done. And you can, you know, trim the video if you want to. And the way that they show the videos is unlike a timeline kind of editor that you see in most videos. So this timeline, this one that they have, it's based on clips, right? The one that they have for your video editor is based on clips, right? Whereas if you use other tools such as InVideo or Ophio, they use a timeline editor, right? They use a timeline editor. So so the way that they work is a little bit different. It is more for, you know, people who are not serious about video editing. Okay, it's just for people to if you are a you know, not good with videos, alright, then I would say FlexClip is a good choice for you, because you can just pick templates and edit it, and you can put it up very quickly. But if you want more features, right, if you want more features in terms of your editing process, then you might have to opt for a different tool, such as maybe Ophio or InVideo. Okay, and FlexClip themselves, they have 3 different plans. Okay, let me just kind of show you here. They have 3 different plans, and okay, so they have 3 different plans, and so free version gives you 480p standard definition downloads. Okay, and then you can only use one stock video per project. So if you get the basic plan, however, you get up to 3 minutes of videos. With the plus plan, you get up to 10 minutes, and if you get a business plan, you get up to 30 minutes in video length. And the difference between FlexClip and other cloud-based video editors out there is that FlexClip actually stores the video for you as well. With the basic plan, you get 10 gig cloud space. With the plus, you get 30 gig cloud space, and with the business plan, you get 100 gig cloud storage as well, right? So I would say that if you don't create videos of a very long length, you might want to I would say the plus plan will be good enough, right? I would say that if you are creating videos, especially for YouTube or Facebook nowadays, I don't see any point in getting the basic plan, because it only gives you 720p, right? So if it's possible, you always, you know, want to go for a higher definition. Okay, so the plus plan, I think it is still it is probably still comfortable for many people, and this with 5 stock videos, I think that is pretty much good enough for a video project of up to 10 minutes. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, but for the business plan, you know, it's up to 1080p, right, as well, but you get up to 30 minutes length, right? So if you are creating a long video, maybe if you're turning, let's say your maybe you have a blog post and you want to turn it into a video, you know, something like that, and then I would say you go for the business plan. But I would say that most people are, you know, fine with the plus plan, whereas I would feel that the basic plan is a little bit limited, right? So this is FlexClip right here. I would say that for FlexClip, it is good for people who are looking for a basic video creation tool. Okay, and you don't want to mess around with so many different options, you know, editing the videos based on the timeline and all that. It just seems a little bit complicated sometimes, and you just want something that you can plug, quickly edit and play, right? And that's what FlexClip does. Okay, and I think FlexClip is great for people who are just not well versed with videos, or you just want to have something fast to put up. FlexClip is definitely great for you. And that's all for today's video. If you have any questions with regards to FlexClip, be sure to comment in the video below, okay, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in this video, we're going to be talking about some article summarizers. We're going to be comparing between Genie or Genie. We're going to be comparing between Phrase as well as Inksprout. Right? These three different tools, they do similar work, but they come from a different perspective, right? And it's very interesting for me to compare them, and I think the logic behind why they do certain things is very interesting, right? And why do you want to be using a article summarizer? It could be that because you want to summarize the article and just get the gist, right, so that you don't have to spend so much time reading through everything, right? And it makes your research process faster. Let's say if you are researching content to be writing your own, okay, using any one of these tools will help you to get the work done, right? Get the research process done much faster, right? So before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. And if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the links in the video description to join my Facebook groups, right? So let's dive in. Okay, and I have done a very simple table here. This might not have covered every single features out there, right? But I'm just mainly just comparing the article summarizer function. Okay, and so we've got the Genie, Inksprout, and Phrase right here, right? So Genie has an add to project feature. Okay, same for Inksprout and Phrase. Okay, so let me just kind of show you. Okay, so I have done a very simple summarizer on Channel News Asia, right? So this is a Southeast Asian news website. Okay, so there is a unfortunate news yesterday in Philippines where there was a military plane crash, right? So this is a article, this is a news article on the plane crash. So with Genie, okay, all you need to do is just click on the extension right here, and it will start to summarize the article, right? So it will take a little while, okay, right? And but here is the summary, right? Here's the summary. And one thing that I like about the summary itself is that they actually grab the entire sentence or paragraphs and put it in here, right? So if you can see here, right, all 96 passengers blah 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 on Monday, right? So they do kind of so like on Monday is not important, so they kind of removes that, right? So it's actually pretty smart in what it's doing. And then the crash happened blah blah blah, right, on the Sulu province. So it pretty much keeps the entire most of the sentence itself, right? And which was carrying the most recent army graduates. Okay, so it didn't even say that, right? So it just removes this section here because if you want to know what happened with the crash and how did it crash, you probably wouldn't want to know what that it was carrying recent army graduates in there, but they do mention that afterwards, right? Somewhere right here, right? The plane was carrying mostly recent army graduates, you can see here, right? So what they do is they don't just leave content, they don't just leave the sentences right out, but they kind of rephrase it and put it in a way that it's easy to understand, right? However, if you see that below some of the later contents in here, okay, let me see here. Okay, so right, so it seems that every time they do a summary, it's a little bit different each time, right? So it was not clear whether the pilots would be among the survivors. So let's look at pilots. Okay, so that's in there as well. Okay. Right. So previously when I did this test right before this video, it actually mentioned that there was no crash in Philippines. There was no military incident, something like that, or military plane crash in Philippines since the past 10 years, right? They said a decade. So I couldn't get the same summary right now, so it seems like every time they do the summary, it gives a little bit different kind of result. But I tried to read into the article itself. I read the article itself, and I realized that it didn't mention that the you know there was a decade. It's been a decade since an incident. So I do feel that Jenny is great in terms of the rephrasing and trying to understand the article itself, but I'm very curious as to where they get the information on whether there was another plane crash incident more than 10 years ago. Like, where do they get that information from? Okay. And so that's something that I'm very curious of, because it's not stated in the article itself, unless they are actually fetching some content from somewhere else as well, right? So then if the information is actually accurate, then I would think that Jenny is actually pretty pretty exciting as to what they do, because they don't just summarize whatever is in here. They even feed you some additional information that is similar to, that is related to your current content itself, right? So let's say if what I do is that I can just let's say I've summarized this, right? I can just click on the plus button and just click add a new project, right? But this is where there's a little bit of issue over here. There's a small little bug over here. Let's say I were to type test and I click on the tick over here. Okay, it actually creates a project for me, right? Can you see that? It actually creates the test project for me. But however, okay, it doesn't really add the article inside here, and it is basically it created a project. However, it doesn't even show up, right? The project doesn't really show up in here as well. It maybe I might not be doing it the right way. It could be that but of course it could also be like a small little bug that Jenny's Chrome extension has right now, right? So that's something to consider. Okay, so so this is actually a summary right here. Okay, and let's just dive in back to Inksprout. So if I were to go back to this article, and I can just click on Inksprout, and I can just click on get summary, and it will actually give me a summary right here. And if this is not sufficient, I can just click on plus, and it will generate more summaries for me, right? However, you can see that the Inksprout's summary is a little bit different from Jenny, right? Jenny comes from a perspective that I'm trying to summarize everything and have an overall understanding of the article in a bullet form, right? However, with Inksprout, it is actually more of here's a snippet. It's more like here's a snippet, and you can grab this and summarize it. Because for Inksprout, they are more of it's coming more from a social media perspective, right? It's more like a social media tool itself, whereas Jenny is more for a research tool, right? It's more focused on being a research tool, and Inksprout is coming more from a perspective of a social media tool, right? So they don't actually offer you that many summaries, and you're just supposed to grab this and paste it into your social media posts, something like that. Okay, then we've got phrase as well. However, it seems that it is not really able to analyze a lot of pages. Okay, I've tried this on a few different articles as well. So another one would be Forbes, with this article by Neil Patel, is not able to analyze this page as well, right? So there is some there could be I'm not using it right, or is just not working well right now, because phrase is more of a SEO content optimization tool, and they might have neglected some of the the features of their Chrome extension to keep it working. I'm not sure, right? So this is just something that I am speculating. Okay, but hopefully maybe this video could get them to take note that there is an issue with their Chrome extension, so that they can come back and fix the issue on the Chrome extension, right? So all of them are able to add you can use the Chrome extension and instantly add the article into a project in any of these two. Jenny, however, Jenny does have a, sorry if I call it Jenny and it's not what the founder likes to call it. That's my apologies, right? Because I heard him say Genie. Okay, but Genie is kind of spelled with IE instead of EI. So right, so the next one over here we have is notes, right? So you can actually put notes into the article itself. They have a command, and you can actually put in you can actually put some headings and bullet points and stuff like that in your notes itself, right? And you can even add links as well, right? You can even add links to a certain note as well. So that's really interesting as to what Jenny does, right? It's a research tool, right? It's it's meant for you to take notes and refer to these notes. It's really focused as being a research productivity kind of tool here. And the next one that they have right here, let me not move on to other features yet. So the next one that we have, Inksprout, they do not have any note feature at all, so you can't really type any notes in here. Okay, so that's actually missing as in Inksprout. But then again, because it's a social media, it's a more social media kind of tool, there isn't really any need to take any notes, right? As long as the summary, it works for you, you can immediately post it on your, or schedule it on your social media. Next is phrase, right? Phrase. So phrase, you can't really add notes, but what they do have in the article itself, as in when you in your project itself, you have a my content, you have a content brief, or you can even add more sheets in here, so that you can add your own notes in there, right? You can actually add your notes in there. Next is annotation, right? So annotation, you can actually select this, and let me just click on highlight first. Okay, sorry. Okay, there we go. Right, so you can actually select this and click highlight, and it goes into the highlight here, right? And you can also summarize as well. If you just click on this, sorry, you can add to notes. Okay, then you have you can add to notes. Okay, it's not showing up here. Okay, there we go. Right, okay, so because I clicked on the wrong item, so you gotta click this, and it will summarize that section for you, and you can then copy this, paste it in the note if you want to. Okay, So that's what it does as well. Okay, or you can click copy if you want to, right? So that's the note feature and the annotation feature for Jenny. And in phrase, you can, of course, if it was working, the article will actually be pasted in here, and you can then highlight certain areas like this. However, it is not, there's no section that actually tells you that you have highlighted this particular area, you know, so it doesn't show you any highlights, right? Unlike Jenny, what Jenny does over here. And you can even put another comment on the certain certain features here, certain highlights in here, right? So next is the keyword occurrence, or I would kind of say that's like keyword density maybe, right? So with Jenny, you can click on keywords, and I say that Jenny is actually pretty smart in that sense, because they could tell that certain words are actually an organization, right? So it's actually pretty smart over here. So you can see that, okay, for example, Abu Sayyaf, right? Abu Sayyaf, it is a what do you call that, terrorist organization, right? So it is an organization, but the name kind of sounds like a person's name as well, but it's able to tell that it is actually an organization. Same for Lockheed, right? It kind of sounds like a person's name as well, so it's able to tell that this is actually an organization. So I feel that Jenny is actually pretty smart right here, right? And it can tell a person. However, right, Jolo is actually a location, right? It's actually a location, right? Jolo Island, right? So it's actually a place, right? So this is actually an island in, it should actually end up in here, right? Okay, so this is something for you to take note of, right? But I would say that it's actually pretty good. They just kind of need to improve on the accuracy a little bit, right? Then dates, okay, 50. I don't think 50 is the date in the article itself. 50 is, you know, the number of people who you know, the number of casualties in this article itself. Then what is this, nationalities, okay, quantity, ordinal. Okay, so pretty much that's what it does. And I think that you know, Jenny, it's pretty smart in, you know, it doesn't just summarize stuff for you, but you know, you can add notes so that you can have a better idea on the article itself. And also you can also know, understand the article itself, how many times a particular keyword has appeared in the article, right? So I think you know, Jenny is actually pretty exciting as to what it does. And for Inksprout and Phrase, it doesn't have that feature. Okay, Phrase kind of has, but it's more like keyword density for SEO optimization, right? So it's not really what we are looking at. Then we have Summarize on social media integrations, right? So so I've got my Facebook right here, and I've already pasted this article from Neil Patel, right? And from Forbes, and it summarizes into this, right? So let me just kind of show you what happens. So let me just close this. Right, so let me just refresh, and I'm gonna paste this Channel News Asia article on the Philippines military plane crash right here. Okay, so I'm pasting this in here, and you can see that it summarizes, it puts some bullet points, summary of the article in here, right? So you know, this Inksprout, it's really seamless for social media kind of posting, scheduling. It's really useful. That's why I think that the Inksprout is really exciting for that. Okay, and I would say, right, between these three different tools, they all have a different function to or different focus in what they do. All three of them do summaries. Of course, we are not able to really test out what phrase does, because it doesn't seem to be working on multiple different sites. It could be an issue on my end. I can't be too sure, right? For Janae, I would say that it's really good for you to research. Alright, it's very good for your research process, or you just want to use it as a productivity tool. Right, read an article very quickly. Right, that's really useful, and being able to grab snippets of the article and highlight them, add comments, or write certain notes in the article itself. This kind of function, it kind of feels like a little bit like a tool for article writing as well, right? It kind of feels, it's kind of trying to be halfway getting into that area as well. So I would say that between Jenny and Phrase, they're kind of very close in terms of what they do, but Jenny doesn't really care about SEO. It's more about like being able to write accurately, have the facts and numbers in there, right? Something to be very factual on, right? I think Jenny is great tool for that. What I think that is missing, however, is that I would wish that they have a team member feature, and team member being able to do annotations in the project itself. I think then Jenny will be really awesome for that, right? Phrase does have team members, right, but they don't really have editing between team members. So I mean, you can edit between team members, but there's no annotation between team members. So I think that's where kind of Phrase, however, it's more like you add the project in, and you can use Phrase summarizer, add the content into the Phrase project, and optimize the article from there. I think that's where the benefit of the Phrase Chrome extension is. However, I think the biggest odd one out here is Inksprout, and it is actually very surprising, and it's a simple tool, but it's so convenient and fun to use, I would say. Right, so Inksprout, definitely something that I also recommend. It really depends on what kind of why are you using this article summarizer. What is your use cases? Are you going to use that for research, or are you going to be using that for social media posting? Right, so those are something for you to consider. And I would say that both Jenny and Inksprout are great tools. It really depends on you. I would love to hear, would you rather go with why did you choose Jenny or Inksprout? Let me Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in this video, we are going to be talking about NextWeave, right? So NextWeave is a hyper personalization tool for images, for videos, and you can use it for many use cases, such as if you run a print-on-demand store for your e-commerce, you can personalize the t-shirt, personalize the mug, or whatever products that you sell, right? And you can put the person's, so let's say someone goes in and fills up a form or checks out, and you can show how the product looks like, right? The product mock-up looks like. On your print on demand store, you can use it for your thank you pages, right? You can put a picture or a video personalized with the person's name. You can maybe even personalize certain information about it. So let's say they purchase something from your store, you can have a personalization saying that we are going to send your item to this to Singapore, something like that, right? You can put those information, whatever information you have on the person, you can use it for personalization. You can use it for cold outreach as well, so you can get people's attention when people when they open up your emails, right? You can personalize with a picture of someone holding a mug. For example, I'm holding a mug like this, right? It's a white color mug, and it can have your name in there, right? It could be a Starbucks cup here, and it could have your name in there, right? And I could have a text just above me and have a speech bubble that says, hey, let's have a quick meeting, your name, right? Something like that, and that will help you to get a lot of attention as well. And lastly, you can also use it for social media personalization. So for example, if you were to post stuff on Twitter, you can then take those information, automate and send it to a particular template, a square image template, so that you can then auto post it over onto Instagram as well. Right, so you can turn your text into images as posts very quickly as well, and these are just some of the use cases that I'm sharing with you, right? And lastly, before we dive into next week, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. And if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the links in my video description, right, so that you can join our Facebook group, right? We have a vibrant community, and we would love to have you join us and discuss about software and lifetime deals as well, right? So let's dive into next week, right? So this is next week. So once you get started on next week, this is what you see, okay? And you can then they do have a onboarding guide, so some videos here, but to be honest, it's really not difficult to use it at all. I didn't even make use of the onboarding videos. I mean, I did watch a little bit of it, but it didn't take too long for me to kind of set it up, right? So you've got video templates in here, and they have already some stock videos that you can make use of, such as something like this, right? So let's give you a watch a sample of the video. Right, a simple video like that, right? And I think this was maybe even made by, is this made by, let's see, it has in video here. I'm not sure if it's actually made by in video, right? Oops, it might even be just it could probably just be some template that they got, right? So yeah, so you can use some of these stock images, stock videos here. And what happens is that okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna click on clone template. Right, I'm gonna click on clone template. Okay, so there we go. Just let me kind of turn off some stuff over here. Right, so there we go here, right? So this is the video, and what you want to do is you just click on the enlist variable here, and you can actually change the text in here, right? So let's say if you were to change this to let's say appsumo.com, right? You can put that in, right? And then then this will be so these are the fallback value, right? So if there's no value in there, this would be the fallback value. Okay, so but let's say we will just to put this in here. Okay, and then play it. Okay, right, so one over here, this should be appsumo.com. Let's see. Okay, so what happens is that I gotta select this variable here, right? So I'm gonna put this as domain. Okay, let me just copy this and paste it in here, right? And there you go, right? So the personalization appears over here, and this will be your call to action here. So I'm going to change this to buy now, for example, right? So this will be the fallback value. So this is the default value, right? So if you are sending data into Nextweave, and you can actually change this individual layers that you have here, right? Okay, right, so it's a very simple like a video designer here, right? Okay, right, so and pretty much this is how it looks like. You can separately design for mobile as well, right? So this would be mobile version. Okay, so you can have a different design for mobile as well. Okay, and this is the images that they have, right? So something that I really enjoy was let's see, what's this one here, right? So let's say we were to use this. Okay, you can change this name here like this, right? So username, and you can put a domain, right? And then let's put a quick campaign, right? And then just let's create that, generate link, and what happens is that you can see that the video thumbnail has been changed, right? So we can actually in fact edit this image as well. So you just click on clone thumbnail and you can edit the image that you have here. So let's say you don't want this, right? So you can remove that. Okay, let's see. Just give me a second here. Okay, how do I edit this? Okay, I think it's over here. Right, there we go. Right, that's the delete button. Okay, so I guess this image can't be deleted. Let me just see. Let me just try again. Okay, there we go, right? So we can actually delete, right? And then we got a very nice picture over here, right? And this variable can always be changed, right? So let's say we were to put wikipedia.org, and save template, and there you go, right? So it's changed up like that very nicely, right? Very nicely done. And so it's really very simple to use it, and there are tons of integrations in here, right? You can connect to any of these applications that they have over here. Okay, and on top of that, right, so that's rasa, that's snow, lamb list, a bunch of stuff in here. Like most of them are like cold outreach kind of tools here, right? So I guess they have not really integrate with more different stuff here, but we should see more integration very soon. They do have Pabbly Connect in here as well. Let's see, automated workflow, so just Pabbly in here. Right, so no Zapier right now. Okay, and the next thing that you can do is actually connect Nix with to your website. So it's very powerful what they are doing here, and I don't actually see many people using this feature right now, so I'm just kind of going to show you what I will do, right? Because I'm actually going to be using Nix with on my coaching website. So what happens is that when someone signs up for my courses, I'm going to show them a thank you video, personalized, right? Personalized, so I can actually do it with Nix Weave over here. So what I'm going to do right now is all you need to do, right, is go over to your WordPress site, okay, and you can go to plugins and install the Nix Weave plugin, which I've already done so. Okay, so Nix Weave, right? So this is the plugin that they have. All you need to do is to install this. Right, install this plugin. Right, there isn't many people using it right now, right? Because it's only 10 plus active installations, right? But it's I'm going to be using this right now, and the next thing is to then go into the settings page. I just click on this, and you just put in the experience name, production, and then you want to get the experience default experience shot ID and the campaign ID over here, right? And what happens is that you can actually grab variables on your WordPress site and actually personalize it, right, for people who actually use your website. All right, you can make use of the variable here. Okay, so how do you set this up? It's really simple as well. Just go over to Nix Weave, okay, and the first thing is go into your campaigns, and so let's say I have done a video on, right, so this is the one. So I'm going to click into this campaign here. You got the campaign ID, just paste it in here, and then you need the short ID. So where do you get that short ID is click on, let's see, yeah, I believe it's this one here. Is that it? Okay, no, you got to go back to your templates. Alright, so let's say it's this one here. Okay, and we're going to click on edit template. And click on define meta. Okay, define meta, and just click on generate test link. Okay, then you get this link here. Okay, and this funny little code over here, this is actually the experience ID. So you just paste that in, and we are pretty much good to go, right? So I'm just gonna bring it back to this again. Okay, so you paste that short ID in, put in the campaign ID, and you can override certain variables with the variables within your within your WordPress site, right? So let's say you have you want to make use of if you want to replace username with your first name, right? So you just click on this and paste it in here like that. Okay, paste it in here, right? Just follow this format that they have here: username, colon, then the variable code that you have here, right? Variable tag that you have here. Then you can just generate shortcode, and you get the shortcode here. And this is what I've done. This is the next with, right? I actually pasted the shortcode in here, and this is what shows up, right? So we got this video that is actually showing within within the page itself. So this is how it looks like. Right, and there we go, right? Okay, so there we go, right? So so next with is, it's really powerful. You can do a bunch of stuff, right? So I don't really have WooCommerce set up in here, but if you have WooCommerce set up in here, and you can actually grab certain information and send it over to NextWeave to personalize the design of let's say your print-on-demand product, right? And you have a bunch of integrations here as well. So for example, if you were to use Pabbly Connect, okay, or even Botstar over here, people can send certain information to you, and you can then personalize stuff in there, right? And for example, if you use Pabbly Connect, you can have a post on Twitter being sent to you can have an automation with Twitter being sent over to NextWeave, okay, and take the generated URL of the image, okay, to post it into Instagram, just like that. It's very, very convenient. You can do stuff like that with NextWeave right here, okay. And I think pretty much this is it. If you use any of these two right here, for example, we've got Fluent CRM, we've got Outreach Beam, we've got Flexi, stuff like that. You can then personalize and insert those merge tags within your email, and personalize a picture and have it sent out to your prospects as well. That's a lot of integrations in here, right? So of course there should be more, and I believe that more will be coming. There's even Klaviyo in here as well, right? So if you capture leads, you can use that for personalization as well, right? So I think NextWeave is a very, very powerful tool, right? And if you get started with them, just a free plan, that they would already given you I think like 100 or 500 credits to get started. Although you don't get full HD videos, right? In fact, I don't feel that you would actually need full HD videos for that, right? But of course, if you need that, you can always upgrade your plan. But what I would say is that usually for videos you wouldn't have them full size, right, on a landing page. So I would think that 720p is actually good enough, right? But this is pretty much what NextWeave is, and I'm very impressed with how easy NextWeave does this, right? I don't even really need to spend time going through the onboarding, and I could already create something that I like, right? I will just easily create something that I can use, right? So NextWeave is definitely an amazing tool. I definitely recommend everyone to make use of it. And if you have any questions about NextWeave, be sure to check out, be sure to comment in this video itself. Hey, what up, decisive marketers? In this video we're going to be comparing 3 different image optimizer plugins, right? We're going to be comparing between Short Pixel, WP Compress, and image optimizer, right? So image optimization is very important because images are usually one of the bigger files on your website, on your web pages itself, and it can seriously slow down your website. So what you want to do is to actually optimize the file sizes to much smaller sizes, so that you can load your pages much faster and give a better experience for your visitors. So today we're going to be comparing these three image optimizer tools, and before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing or e-commerce content. And if you are a lifetime deal or software enthusiast, be sure to check out the link in the video description to join our Facebook group. Right, so let's dive in to these different plugins. Okay, right, so I've already done the comparison between these three tools itself, and between WP Compress and ShopPixel. So the optimization credits for you is actually unlimited, right? So you can get any plans that they have, and you can optimize it unlimited, right? But they do have a soft cap of 25,000 images, right? But whenever you go above that soft cap, you can always reach out to support and they can lift that limit for you, right? So next is WP Compress. Every time it compresses an image for you, it optimizes an image for you, it actually eats up about 10 credits. Okay, even though WP Compress credits are very generous, but every image taking up about 10, right? So if you have 100 images, which is very that's about like 20 over real images on your site, right? Because with WordPress, it always uploads a few different versions, a few different sizes of your images onto your website. So you will probably have about 20 or so images, and if you were to use WP Compress to compress them all, it will take about 1,000 credits already. So that's something to consider. Next is ShopPixel, right? So ShopPixel, it only consumes a credit if it's able to compress more than 5% of the image, right? So every time it compresses an image, it eats up 1 credit. Okay. Next is manual upload, right? Manual upload. Image optimizer, there is no manual upload feature, same for WP Compress. So you can't grab any images from somewhere else and upload it onto their optimizer and have it optimized, right? But with ShopPixel, they do have a manual upload feature, okay, on their website, and they accept 50 images every single time, right? And then the next one would be for the CDN, right? So these it's the adaptive images. For the image optimizer, they do have a CDN, but it's only in the US and EU right now, right? So if you have visitors coming from, let's say, Asia, or let's say South Asia, East Asia, or let's say South America, or Africa, if you have visitors coming from these places, you may not be able to deliver these images fast enough so that they can load faster when this visitor visits your website, right? So next is WP Compress. They do have CDN, but it's not mentioned where the locations are. It is 1 credit per image load, right? And so that means every time someone comes over to your website, whenever the image loads up, it actually takes up 1 credit, right? So even though WP Compress gives very generous credits, the credits actually are consumed very quickly, right? And every time you optimize an image and you save it into their cloud, uses 100 credits, right? It uses 100 credits. As for Short Pixel, okay, as for Short Pixel, their credit is their CDN is global, and every month, it just uses 1 credit for that image whenever it's being loaded, right? I forgot to mention for you, they don't actually use based on credit. They give you a bandwidth, and it depends on the plan that you have, right? So if you use up the bandwidth, then then the CDN stops working, right? So next is the lazy loading, right? So U does not provide lazy loading. U and WP Compress provide lazy loading for images. However, for Short Pixel, it does not. It only offers progressive image loading, right? That means all the images do load on your website, okay, but for larger images it will show up later, right? So it's a progressive image loading. Next is WebP. So all of them provide WebP. However, I forgot to mention that for Short Pixel, right? So for U and WP Compress, they do not charge any credit for the WebP usage, right? So when you convert your images to WebP, U and WP Compress does not consume any additional credits. But for Short Pixel, right, if you were to use if you were to create a WebP version of your image, it will take up an additional credit, right? So at this is where Short Pixel starts to consume a lot of credits, right? Next we have AVIF file format, right? So image format. So for U and WP Compress, they do not provide AVIF at the moment. However, with Short Pixel, they do provide AVIF, right? However, as the same thing goes, whenever you create a AVIF file, right, AVIF image, right, it will consume a credit as well, right? So next is WordPress plugin. So all of them have a WordPress plugin, right? All of them have a WordPress plugin. Next is the Shopify app. So U does not have a Shopify app. So in fact, it doesn't serve any kind of website except for WordPress, right? So with you, you are a bit restricted over here, right? But for WP Compress, they do have a universal version where you can actually put a code in the header, and you can then serve your images through their CDN, right? So it doesn't just work on the Shopify sites, but it works on any kind of sites as long as you can insert images. You can insert codes within the header of the site itself. And the next one would be Short Pixel. So Short Pixel does have a Shopify app. However, other than WordPress, Short Pixel is not able to you can't really use Short Pixel on any the adaptive images for Short Pixel on any other sites unless you get a developer to do it for you, right? The next one would be JS, right? JavaScript and CSS optimization. So U and WP Compress does optimize your JavaScript and CSS for you. However, Short Pixel is really just focused on images itself. And then for CDN, right, for JavaScript and CSS, with U and WP Compress, they can serve these files through their CDN as well. Short Pixel only serves CSS through their CDN, right? So I have actually 4 images that I have compressed, and I've used the largest file sizes. I've used the largest compression of each different plugin over here, right? So the I got 4 images, and I would the links will be posted within the video description, so you can open up the pages and check out the different images. I recommend that you right click on the image and open the image in a new tab so they can actually see the entire full size image and compare them on your own, right? So I will leave that judgment in terms of the quality to you. Personally, I think that most of them, even with the largest compression, you still retain a very good quality of the images. But I'll leave it to you to make the comparison in terms of the quality of the compression, right? So in terms of the file size after the optimization, however, right, the first one, it's a picture of Vanessa, right, from Appsumo, and the original image is about 47 kilobytes here, right, KB here. And you, through the Premium Plus optimization, right, it brings down the file size to 29 KB, right, 29 KB. So that's about a savings of 18 KB. And for WP compress, it's the one that won over here, right, at 17 KB. Okay, short pixel gives us about 24 KB over here, right? And this and then the next one is a picture of a tiara, right? So it's like a product image, right? Because I wanted to make sure that I cover a few different kind of images. So I have a picture of a tiara here. So if you are e-commerce store, then you might want to look at this particular image and see if it works for you, right? Because you don't want to over optimize your images and then have your your product image not shown clearly, and that could affect your conversion rate. So I used the tiara image over here to show you the differences. The original image is 176 KB. The True Hue, it's 99 KB, and WP Compress gives you 110 KB, and for Short Pixel it gives you 58 KB. So Short Pixel is the winner here. Next is a third image of a laptop. Okay, so it's 133 KB, right? So U brings it down to 85, WP Compress brings it to 111 KB, and for Short Pixel it brings it to 41 KB. And lastly, for the it's an image of dogs, right? So we have some water, we have some the image of the ground itself, right? And there are some people in the background as well in these particular images. You can look at the detail after the compression as well. So the original image, right, so this is actually quite a large picture. It's about 636 KB. Through U, it brings it down to 492 KB. For WP Compress, it brings it down to 585 KB. So that's a very little savings in terms of the compression here. And for Short Pixel, it brings it down to 236, right? So that's actually more than 50% compression over here. So for Short Pixel, it is the clear winner in terms of the file size compression here, right? Because for most file sizes, for most image sizes, Short Pixel is able to offer a much smaller file size. However, do not miss out on the EU over here as well, because it's always consistently as the second winner here, right? And because of the plan that EU offers, right? It offers unlimited image optimization, right? And WebP does not consume any additional credit at all, and I would say that the CDN is also very generous, right? And it does lazy loading, it does JavaScript, CSS optimization for you. You can also be a very good option here, right? Because you covers more areas, right? The feature wise is definitely much broader than what Short Pixel does. Short Pixel just really focuses on being really good in the image optimization, but you does a pretty good job as well, right? So I would say that if you are looking for a image optimizer, and if you have missed out on short pixel, right, I would highly recommend that you consider right now, right, because they do have a fantastic offer, right, and you can check it out through my link in the video description as well. And if you have any questions regarding this comparison, if you have any questions regarding image optimizers, feel free to comment below. Hey, what up, decisive marketers, and in this video I'm going to be sharing about one of my most used SEO tools. Right, I use this on a daily basis, and it's called Lebrica. So Lebrica is a in-depth SEO site audit tool, and I'm going to share with you how to go through the report and how to try and resolve the issues that you come across in your Lebrica SEO report itself. Of course, I'm not a super technical person. I'm just going to kind of explain some of the issues that are in there. Those that I could cover, I will try my best and explain them. Otherwise, usually some of these technical issues, I actually pass them on to one of my developers to resolve them. So let's before we dive into Lebrica, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like to see more digital marketing or e-commerce content. And if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to join our Facebook group. The link is in the video description as well. So let's dive into Lebrica. So this is Lebrica, and this is the dashboard, and this is a site that one of the report has come up. So the first thing that, just like with some other tools such as Authoritas, the user interface is not very good. So what I usually do is I would zoom in, but because I use this on a frequent basis, I kind of learn to get used to it and how to navigate around. Okay, so the cool thing is that you can easily reach their support over here by creating a ticket here. So this, just in case you are not sure how to handle certain technical issues that you come across in your Lebrica report, you can easily reach out to support through the Lebrica support by creating a ticket here, and they respond pretty quickly. And I would say that their support is very friendly and willing to help you. And whenever they reply me, they would send me a lot of screenshots and show me step by step how to resolve the issue that I have. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, of course, is to add your website. Okay, so with you just put in your domain name, your site language, your site title, just for you to kind of identify which site it is, and the number of pages to scan. So the thing about number of pages to scan, I was having a problem with this before, because I wasn't sure how many pages to scan, and because I don't know how many pages does my site actually has. So what I do now is actually I will set maybe like 5,000, which is actually pretty big number for most of us. And what happens is that if there are any credits that are unused, they would actually be returned into your credit balance as well. And the credits, they refresh every month. Okay, so this is kind of what I'll do here. Just select a number that is more than more than the pages that you have on your website, right? So let's say you only have maybe 2,000 pages, just click 3,000 and crawl through your website. Any unused credit is returned to you, so you are not overutilizing them at all. Okay, and you can set more crawlers, but because they are actually crawling every single page and digging out every single detail on your website, so if you put more crawlers, it can slow down your website, but it crawls and generates the report for you faster. So usually I'll just set as one Okay, and you can set if you want to crawl any subdomains as well, and if you want to want to crawl no follow links as well. Okay, so this is where you set them up, right? So in case you don't know what no follow links are, uh, basically those are links that tells the tells a crawler not to click and follow this link, right, and crawl the next page from this link, right? So that's what no follow does. Okay, and you can also whether you want to search for your subdomains for keyword search rankings is in there as well. And I'm just going to open up the yeah, so because I already set this up, and you can actually connect. Okay, so the first thing is that uh Lebrica would try and come up with some keyword ideas, keyword suggestions, and suggest them to you so they can add them in. But just to be clear here, I do not use Lebrica for rank tracking. Okay, I do not use Lebrica for rank tracking. I use other tools that's able to give me rank tracking on a daily basis. So with Lebrica, the only frequency that the most frequent frequency that you can have is actually on several times a week. Okay, several times a week. So sometimes you want like daily data, you want super accurate data. I will use a different tool for that. Okay, but you can, if you don't have any other rank tracking tools, and tracking your rank on a daily basis is not very important, you can make use of Lebrica for rank tracking. Okay, so search engine, you can add the search engines that you want to be tracking do using for your rank tracking. Then because I do not do rank tracking at all, I don't have to actually put anything in here at all. And I would actually set a uh, weekly analysis, right, weekly report of my technical issues, right? So I'm just mostly just going to be talking about the technical aspect of Lebrica over here, and not so much on the rank tracking. Okay, so the first thing is, of course, we've got the site rankings here. I'm just going to ignore them because I don't use them at all, right? So with the technical report, you will be able to get these datas over here. Okay, so we are going to go into the optimization. Sorry, this is keyword groupings. I don't. So this is not. This we are not going to be looking at that as well. We're just going to be looking at. Right. So this is the summary report. So with the summary report, okay, it tells you, how many critical errors you have, okay, and uh, and then it gives you some data about all this, how many pages are indexed by Google, you know, right, how many pages are actually shown on Google, okay, and your SSL cert, okay, so these are pretty simple. Is that how your SSL cert, if you have it, right? So if you have, you put a yes. When is it valid till? So if it's expiring, it will show up at maybe like an orange color. So you might want to renew your SSL cert, right? So all this information tells you kind of what you want to be doing. If you are doing, if there's a proper redirect from HTTP to HTTPS, right? So this tells you the SSL cert portion. Okay, then this is the website availability test. So I'm just going to show you over here. Okay, so this tells me that my website is actually accessible from all these places except for Canada. It's giving a 403 status code. This is because my web host actually blocks bots, and is able to detect that the Lebrica bot that comes from the Canada, is actually a bot. So uh, Canada, the bot that comes from Canada is not able to bypass the bot challenge, right? The captcha hence is not able to show. Okay, so it's not necessary that your website is not accessible, but probably you have some form of Cloudflare security, that blocks the Lebrica bots from crawling your site. Okay, so that's something to take note of. Okay, and preferred URL. Okay, so because these are blocked, so it is not able to show. Okay, so domain age, right, tells you when your domain expires and then you want to renew by then. Okay, and then your name servers, okay, right, and then any server errors and any other issues that you have here, which I'll go through in more details later on, right? Okay, so the first one is so we already went through the website availability test. Okay, so all the browsers are working, just the Canada one is not working. This tells you how many if you have any error 400s. So these are pages that is not able to be accessed because of the page is there is no page itself, the page doesn't exist, or like what you've seen, maybe there's a bot challenge, something like that, right? So for error 400, so you want to kind of fix up those errors, and error 500s are usually server errors, so could be your hosting isn't working working so well when the bot was crawling. So this is more about uptime, right? Uptime. So 400 is much more critical than the 500, I would say, right? 500 is probably maybe some scripts that are not loading, and um, it just that particular page is down, right? But usually when you come across error 500, your entire site should be down, but they usually come back up right quite quickly as well. So not responding pages, okay, if it's not loading. Right, so critical markup errors are, I would say, HTML errors. Uh, so maybe your code isn't very clean. So we are actually in the process of still optimizing the page itself. So if you come across critical markup errors and it's not a product page or anything like that, there's nothing much to worry too much, I would say, because usually HTML errors, if you just kind of want to clean that up so that your page loads a bit faster. But because HTML is a very small piece of code, it doesn't really slow down your website that much. So I wouldn't say that it's very critical for you to solve HTML errors, but it would be good if you solve them, of course, right? So multiple title or descriptions. So if you have page titles or page descriptions that are very similar, okay, so those are the ones that you want to fix up. Okay, and then robots.txt, this to be honest, I don't know what is this, right? So I would say that it's probably within your robots.txt there are some issues that is not allowing maybe some bots to crawl your website much better, so you might want to fix that up. Then we have sitemap validator. Okay, so sitemap validator, and we have, so these are pages, these are pages in the sitemap but not available for indexing, uh, and then these are pages that are blocked from indexing. So, and then these are pages that are found but are not shown in your sitemap. Okay, so sitemap is like a directory of your entire website. Uh, so I have some pages that are okay. So I guess they are not able to find my sitemap .xml. So I might want to make that more clear within the my website itself, so that Lebrica can find my sitemap and crawl all my pages. Okay, so lost files are files that you link to that are not lost files would be like your images, your let's say you have a PDF file or any downloadable files that you link to and are broken, it will show up here. Okay, then pages with the canonical tag, Okay, so these are pages where use you set a different canonical URL. So for example, if you run an e-commerce website, right, when you click on, let's say, the add to cart button, it will perform an action, and that URL could be something like the URL, then forward slash question mark add to cart, uh, add to cart equals ID 13, something like that. So it tells the your website that you're adding this particular product into your cart page itself, something like that. So usually this kind of identifier kind of URLs, you don't want them to be indexed in Google as well, because what happens is that you're going to have multiple duplicated pages on Google, and that's going to cause a lot of SEO issues for you. Hence, you use a canonical URL tag that tells Google that this main URL, this product page URL, is the main page, right? Is the main page, and you should only show this in the search results itself. Okay, large HTML pages. So these are pages that are very big in size, and take a long time to load. So you might want to optimize those pages. Okay, so we got external files here. So these are these are actually CSS file and JavaScript files that are linking outside of my pages. So generally, it is recommended that you want images to load from your site. But sometimes with JavaScript and CSS files, they come from a different website. Hence, it shows up in here. It's not a big problem, because usually for JavaScript, it is always loaded off your site, right? For images wise, you definitely want to upload that image onto your own site itself, right? That way it loads faster, right, rather than loading from someone else's server. And if there's any redirects between your domains, it's between different websites, it will show up in here. Any multiple redirects, so multiple redirects are like what I call redirect chain. And for example, you have iPhone 7, then you have iPhone X and iPhone 11. Okay, so let's say you are selling iPhone 7 has sold out. So what you do is that you maybe delete the page and do a redirect to iPhone X, right? And then the same thing happens to iPhone X. iPhone X now becomes iPhone 11, right? So what happens is that if people go onto the iPhone 7 page itself, they are redirected to iPhone X, and then from iPhone X to iPhone 11. That's not what you want, because it is performing multiple redirects and taking a longer time to load the page itself. And then these are images, right? Whether there are any images that's missing the alternate tag, okay, and the title tag, or any other issues that is it's facing. Okay, this is a beta right now. So PageSpeed Insights tells you how fast your site is loading. Okay, but it seems like it's giving an issue here. It wasn't able to load. And then any security issues that is facing usually has to do with your SSL and error messages. Okay, any other error messages? Then we go into the SEO audit itself. Okay, SEO audits itself. So gives you an overview here, and then your competitors tells you where your competitors are, how many keywords you have, right? And just an overview in here, and your website and top 10 snippets. Okay, so where your website is ranked. Okay, so I guess this is actually from the rank tracking tool, so I am not sure these are all accurate, right? Because this was quite a while ago that this was tracked. Okay, so we got meta tag and H1 errors. So this page is showing, because there's a bot verification, right? So it thinks that there is less than 5 words over here, but actually we have set the meta description. It's just that Lebrica's bot was blocked, right, and hence wasn't able to show this data. So page blocked from indexing. Okay, so so this particular page is this particular page has a no follow link to it. Okay, and then this one is blocked by no index, so we are not indexing this particular page itself because this product has been removed. Okay, this product has been removed. Over optimization will be, you know, when you when your keyword its density is too high, it gives you an idea over here. Okay, and where to fix it up. So for example, I use a strong tag along with a heading tag, so that's not recommended as well. So these are where you want to go through and maybe fix them up as well. Okay, so because it may give you some spam errors, like Google might think that you are spam. Okay, then this page itself is not showing properly. Okay, so thin content pages are pages that does not have a lot of content. You may want to beef them up so that uh, you know, Google shows them, right? Because if those pages like what they say here is that if the page has too little content, is Google finds that it's useless and will not really show it in the search results at all. So and then non-original content in on relevant pages. So so some of these content are similar because we are selling other people's product, right? So hence, you know, Lebrica thinks that we are stealing out of someone else's data. It's just that these products come from these businesses, and that's where we get the information from, right? So it thinks that it's non-original content. But if you are running a blog or something like that, and this is actually where the plagiarism checker is. Okay, so it kind of tells you if you are plagiarizing too much of someone else's content. So this is where it is. Okay, so Lebrica does have a plagiarism checker. Okay, but it crawls your content and tells you if it is. Okay, then non-indexed landing pages. Okay, so these are pages that are hidden from Google itself. Okay, hidden from Google itself because some of these products are not available anymore, so we actually non-index them so they don't show up in Google. And then we've got adult content. Okay, that's fixed now. So adult content will be, you know, you have some uh adult related words in there. Okay, and then we have swear words. Okay, so that's actually fixed up as well. So previously the issue that Lebrica had was that it was showing certain words within certain words within the word itself. So for example, maybe you have the word KUM in KUM within a word itself, right? Maybe a word that was spelled within the word itself. This word appears. Uh, you know, let's say you have a word like cumin, okay, then it thinks that it's a swear word or an adult word because it contains the word cum, right? cum. So it looks like they fixed up that issue recently. So I'm pretty happy with Lebrica's update so far, and user behavior data. So we don't really have this as well because we didn't do any rank tracking. So pretty much this is how you know go through the. Okay, so we got one more section here which is links. Let's kind of go through them a little bit. Right, so landing page with too few inbound links. Okay, so that means we don't have a lot of links pointing to this page, which I don't think so. I think it's because with too few inbound links. Okay, I'm not really sure what this is because I definitely have a lot of backlinks pointing to that page. I have a lot of internal links pointing to that page as well. This Okay, landing page with 2 field inbound links, external links, links with no anchor text. Okay, so I'm not really sure about this section over here because I don't really look at that. I mostly spend my time with the technical audit menu. Okay, so this is okay, and one more thing is that you can let me see. Okay, so I think that is all I have, and you can, and there's a new feature where you can actually invite your team members into Labrica itself right now. Uh, so and you get unlimited sites that you can use with Labrica. It's just bound to whatever uh, credits that you have to use, right? So this is basically Labrica, and I hope you guys got value out of this video on how to resolve some of I wasn't able to explain everything because I'm not a technical person, and I don't use it for rank tracking at all. But if you see I hope you guys see value on how to resolve some of the technical on-page on-site SEO issues that you have by using the Labrica audit tool. And I would say that Labrica's audit tool is very in-depth, and you can see every single detail that they are checking for. So if you have any other questions, feel free to comment below, and if you like my team to assist you with any site audit or resolve some of the issues that you face in your Labrica SEO report, feel free to reach out to me on my Facebook page, and we can actually help you to resolve those issues. Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in this video, we're going to be talking about Radar. Now, Radar is a 6-in-1 social media scheduling, social inbox, social listening, password, and task management, and link shortening tool, right? So they have all these features built in one. Now, before we dive into Radar, I would like to make a notice here that this video is a updated and a revised video of what I've made previously, right? Because in the previous video, I have come across some issues with Radar, but the founder has came up to me and reached out to me and quickly resolved those issues for me, and I would like to commend them on their fast reaction, and I think that Radar has a great future because they care a lot about their product itself, right? So before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content, and if you are software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the link in the description to join our Facebook group as well. Now let's dive into Radar. So this is the dashboard of Radar. Okay, so it gives you it tells you your tasks, your notifications, and it just kind of gives you an overview over here. And before you get started, what you need to do is actually to head over to your profile, and you have to go over to settings. Okay, and in settings, you want to click on channels, and this is where you connect all your social media profiles, such as your Facebook page, your Instagram business account, your Twitter account, your Facebook group, your LinkedIn organization account, your LinkedIn person account, your YouTube channel, your Vimeo account, and also Google search as well. And when you connect the account, they would actually tell you which feature does Radar supports, right, for that particular channel. So for example, this is my YouTube channel, and in the YouTube channel, it supports the inbox feature, the monitoring feature, the scheduler feature, but it does not support the analytics feature. And for the Facebook groups, it supports inbox, it does not support monitoring, but it supports the scheduling as well. And for Google search, this is just for listening, right, social listening. So it supports monitoring only, And for Facebook page, it supports everything except for monitoring itself, right? So it depends on the feature that you use, right? It's supposed on the channel you use and whether it supports those features or not. And if anytime your social media accounts are disconnected, you can always click on the reconnect button, and of course you can remove them easily over here. Now in the permission over here, this is actually where you grant your team members, right? You grant your team members access to these features, right? So you got the inbox feature, monitoring feature, scheduler, analytics, passbook, utilities, and settings over here, right? So let's dive into Radar itself. So this is the inbox feature. So you've actually seen that I've already connected some of my social media profiles over here. So we've got YouTube. We got YouTube messages coming in here. These are YouTube comments, right? YouTube comments coming in, and this we've got this Facebook page message, and this is social Facebook post. So someone has actually commented on my Facebook page, and this is Facebook private message through my Facebook page itself. Okay, so these are the ones, and you can of course sort them. You can actually filter them by clicking any one of this, like waiting, the star, right? Any messages that are archived, any mentions, reviews, comments, posts, messages. You can filter by your channels as well, your sources as well. So this gives you a very good idea of managing your social media profiles just through Radar itself, right? And then we've got monitoring here as well. So monitoring, I have done this through Google itself, right? So this is a social. This is actually listening to, monitoring to. So it gives you an idea of what people are actually talking about you on the internet, right? So this, for example, this is from Trust Radius. Okay, so this is a this is something that Radar has captured, that my keyword is actually mentioned in here, which is actually my name, right? So this is where you actually kind of get a good idea of the feature that the messages that or people mentioning about you on the internet. Okay, and over here you can of course delete those that are not relevant. Okay, so like these ones are not relevant, so I could just delete them and keep my inbox here clean. Okay, so if it is a positive comment, you can mark it as positive. If it's not, if it's a neutral, you can just keep it as neutral. If it's a negative, you can click on negative, right? So this gives you an idea on what to do, right? So for example, if you want to you can quickly then visit the page itself and try and reach out to the person who is unhappy. If it's a negative, it's a positive, right? You want to reach out and say, hey, thank you so much for supporting us, right? So this actually gives you an idea. Okay, and if you have already reviewed the particular message, you can always click on reviewed here, right? So this is the social media listening to, and of course you can leave notes in the message as well, so it gives you an idea of what to do. And next we have the scheduler. Okay, so the scheduler, so with the scheduler itself, you can post to your different channels in here. Okay, and you can actually have image, videos, gallery, link posts, text posts, and stories would be supported later on. And you can actually have a team discussion as well in here to discuss about your post, right? So before it is posted, You can actually click in and see, look at the post before it is approved for publishing itself, right? And all the links that if you insert any links in here, it Radar would actually automatically shorten them for you. So the link shortener is actually over here in the settings. Okay, over here the settings, and sorry, in the utilities tab. Okay, so in the utilities tab, so all you can actually create connect your own custom domain, right? So you can have, for example, go decisivemarketer.com / something, right? So this is what Radar comes in built with for the link shortening feature. And you can also create your own links, shorten links in here as well. Alright, so that's the cool thing about Radar. But of course, the features for the link shortening service is very basic. It's just a straightforward link shortening tool. There's no expiring links. There's no rotating links. There's no inserting of pixels or anything like that at the moment, right? But they of course are looking to add these features in the future. And we've got the analytics over here, so you can create a board and look at the details of, you know, how your business is actually looking, right? So this is where you can actually look at your an overview, right? So you can actually add a bunch of widgets in here. Okay, so you can add your features, all your widgets in here, and have a good idea. And of course you can move them around, and you know, the best way that you can view your, you know, have an overview of your social media statistics, right? And then the last one would be the passbook. Okay, so in the passbook, this is actually where you add all your accounts, like not just social media accounts, but it supports any other accounts that you have. And uh, you know, it tells you, it kind of gives you the access for everything. This password over here, it's not the actual password. They actually encrypt the password for you. Okay, and so that your team can easily access all the tools just through Radar itself, right? So it makes it more convenient for you to share your password with your team. And we already covered the utilities feature, and it comes with a LinkedIn profile as well. So uh, this is the LinkedIn profile, so you can actually set up you know, this you can actually create your own you know, LinkedIn profile as well. Okay, so I don't think this feature is actually ready yet, but once you are able to, you'll be able to create your own LinkedIn bio, which it's recommended that you put that into your social media profiles as your landing pages. Okay, so that people can access all your links very quickly. And the last one that I want to cover is on task. So Radar actually comes with a very simple Kanban board style view over here for task management. So like social media, uh, any task that you require, as in for social media posting, is all you can actually do all of them in here, and you can create multiple bots and switch them around if you want to as well. So Radar makes it very simple. Okay, so before I kind of end the video, right, I would like to kind of talk about some of the shortcomings of Radar. Now the pros of Radar is that it is a 6-in-1 feature, and I know that it sounds crazy that they are actually developing so many features into one, but just think about tools that the bigger companies actually want, right? Like paying customers on a monthly subscription basis. What would they want? They want you know, all-in-one tool that solves most of their problems, and that's what Radar is actually building. Okay, of course, if tools that usually focus on one single feature, they are usually much better and much stronger in and more in depth in what they can do of that particular feature. But with Radar, it actually makes everything a lot simpler, and that's what I actually feel that this is the strong point of Radar. So at the moment, if you would ask me, the social media scheduling feature, it is definitely not as developed as what you see like in Publer and other social media tools out there. There is no RSS feed. There's no media library at all. There's no auto posting from RSS feed. So these are some of the features that's missing in Radar. There's no Canva or Trello integration. Of course, those are coming soon. Let me see if we can maybe even check out their roadmap over here. Okay, so so yes, so this is actually what's missing, and the monitoring feature is not very clean as well. Passbook feature is very what do you call that? It's very straightforward. So there's no the you are not able. Let's say if you have like two employees and you only want to share access to certain accounts to one member and not the other, you are not able to do that. So it's only able to share all your password, all your accounts, logins to everyone within the workspace itself. One more thing that I forgot to mention is that with Radar, you can actually create multiple workspaces and switch between them. Right, so that's a nifty tool if you are managing different businesses all together. So and also the task management feature, it seems really weird that why would they actually add this feature. But if you just think about just having a process. For example, you are supposed to make a post about a upcoming promotion. Okay, then is anyone working on it, and is that already done? Right, so it makes everything all in one, right? So if you have a social media team, that's Radar is all they need to kind of do everything that is required. So with the link shortening and everything, they'll be adding like ability to add pixels into the links. And I would say that with Radar, I'm actually kind of excited what they could achieve maybe 6 months down the road, right? With what they have right now, it's not something that I would switch to at the moment, because I have much better tools that is able to do the social media scheduling for me, and link shortening for me, and social media listening for me. But if Radar gets to a point where it makes more sense for my workflow, right? I could maybe miss out on certain features, but if my workflow is a lot more simplified, it really makes sense for me to actually switch over to Radar. Hence, personally, for me, I'm actually keeping this account for myself, and I would love to see what happens with Radar, as we move along. Right. So if you have any other questions, feel free to comment in this video below, and I would love to Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in this video, we're going to be talking about some text-to-speech tools, and they are Listener, PlayHT, and Lovo. Now, text-to-speech tools are very economical for us business owners when we maybe don't have the budget, or it doesn't seem economical for us to hire a professional voiceover artist, right? So then we may want to make use of these text-to-speech tools, right, for us to create onboarding training videos, video sales letters, audiobooks, or even simply just converting your blogs into a audio format so that it's listenable by your audience. Or you may even want to put up your own podcast show and you can do that easily with some of the tools that we are going to be talking about today. Now, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content, and if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the video description. We have a link to our Facebook page, and we would love for you to join our community. Right, so let's dive in to I have a table right here where I compare the features that I have discovered between the three of them, and we'll make a comparison over here. So with Listener and PlayHT, they don't actually have their own voice library. I don't know if that's the way to describe it, but Listener and PlayHT, they actually get their voices from somewhere else, and with PlayHT right now, they mostly get their voices from Google and Amazon. Same for Listener, but Listener are adding voices from other sources as well. But for Lovo, they actually are their own voice library. They create their own voices, and between the three of them, if you are looking for a human-like realistic voice, Lovo is a great option for you. Okay, and let me move on to the second feature over here, and you will understand why. The first thing for Listener is that they give you the audio format in a 160 kbps bit rate MP3 file, right? MP3 file. While PlayHT and Lovo gives you an uncompressed wave file. So Lovo with their voice, more human-like realistic voices with uncompressed audio quality, you get, I would say one of the more realistic voices that I've heard, right? And then for pronunciation editor, Listener does have that, but it works a little bit differently. With PlayHT and Lovo, they do have one, and you have better control over it, in fact. And for emphasis, Listener does not have any feature to emphasize on certain words. With PlayHT and Lovo, you do have that option. The tone, or what I call like a volume on certain words, you can read certain words louder or read certain words at a softer voice. With Listener and PlayHT, you do have that option, but with Lovo you don't have that option. Reading rate wise, only PlayHT and Lovo, you are able to read the entire text at a faster rate, or just select certain words or certain lines. Okay, and you have pitch, and that's only available in PlayHT, where you can edit the pitch of certain words that you want to be reading on. Okay, so, and on top of that, Listener and PlayHT have their own audio player. Okay, they give you an audio player where you can actually embed the audio player into a website that you want. Okay, so with Listener and PlayHT, you have that option, but with PlayHT, I'll say that their player is a lot more customizable, and I'll show you some of the additional features that they have in their audio player later on, okay, as we dive into the tool itself. And for Lovo, they don't have, and PlayHT has a WordPress plugin where you can actually insert the player easily. And in terms of voices wise, Lovo has the most voices. I would say they have maybe close to 200 voices. I would say, I think about 170 was too many for me to count. Listener also has a lot. They have more than 100 different voices, and PlayHT only has I think it's about 47 or 48 voices, right? And for podcast hosting, Listener and PlayHT allow you to create your own podcast show with your own RSS feed, right? So that's the something that Listener and PlayHT provide you. And you can actually add background music to the audio that you convert into voiceovers. Okay, so for Lovo, they have this feature, but Listener and PlayHT does not have that at the moment. And for Chrome extension, this is a in fact I would say this is where a listener stands out, right? Because it's not able to compete with PlayHD and Lovo in terms of voice quality and audio quality, and you know, what you can tweak with those voices. But where listener really stands out is the Chrome extension, because with their Chrome extension, you can actually convert articles, blogs, news, or even Google documents into an audio for you, so that you can just listen to them on the go. And something really cool about listeners Chrome extension is that what I use it for is when my content writers, they submit their work to me, I would actually listen to them instead of reading through them and editing, right? So that I can actually spend my time working on something else. So it makes me a little bit more productive in that way. Okay, so this is something I would say to consider. And between the three of them, I would say Listener is a really great option, because if you're looking for something that covers multiple different use cases and features, Listener is suitable for that. And if you are looking for really high quality human-like voices, Lovo is the one to go with, right? I would say. And for PlayHD, I would say this is where PlayHD kind of is missing. Maybe if you want to use your audio player to capture certain leads, or have more visitors, PlayHD might be good for that, because I would say that audio player would be the best one between Listener and PlayHD. But I would say that between the three different options that we have right now, I would say that go for Lovo if you want really good voices, and go for Listener if you want to have multiple different use cases, right? For your business or your productivity purposes, right? So let's dive into the tools themselves. Okay, so right now we are in Listener. Okay, so this is the project dashboard, so you can create your own podcast shows in here. This is the voiceover. Okay, so I have created a voiceover, so we did this in the previous video. So these are all you need to do is put in a title for your project, then you can then select the voices that you want. There are many voices in here. Okay, and one particular one that I want to show you is actually this one over here. It's called Guy or Guy. I'm not really sure, but let's call it Guy, right?
With Cloud Machine Learning, your application interprets images, text, and more.
Alright, so you can hear the voice, and I'm going to show you PlayHD. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to change this to Guy.
Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something.
Is this the right one?
With Cloud Machine.
Nope. Let me try that again. Oops. Okay, this one over here, right?
Create realistic voiceover audio using the most natural sounding AI voices.
Okay.
With Cloud Machine Learning, your application interprets images, text, and more.
You can kind of hear that the voices are similar, right? In fact, pretty much the same, because they use the same voice library from the Google and Amazon voices. Okay, in fact, some of the names here might be similar, right? So this is Michael. We have a Michael here.
Effortless creativity. How to make good things happen. Award-winning author of The Lazy Guru's Guide to Life.
Right, so let's listen to that.
With Cloud Machine Learning, you're...
Okay, so that's a little bit different. Okay, so so you can see some similar voices between PlayHD and Listener, because they use pretty much the same voices the sources of the voices. Okay, now so let's take a look at Lovo over here. So Lovo, they have their own voices that they create, and pretty much I'll say they are really amazing. I'm just going to play this one here. This is, I think, this is the default one, and it sounds really great. All right, let me just show you.
Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something.
Right.
The only limitations we have in life are those we self-impose. What you believe to be true has a direct impact on what you can achieve. When you're willing to challenge your own thinking, you open the floodgates for change.
Right, so you can hear that the voice quality is a lot better than what we have here. For example, this is Wayne. Okay, where is Wayne? Okay, this one here.
With cloud machine learning, your application interprets images, text, and more.
Right, so you can hear, like, this is...
Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something.
Right, so you can hear, a lot of up and down kind of pitch and fluctuation in the voices. And that makes it a lot more realistic. So we can even try and make it a little bit better by adding some emphasis and pauses here and there, which I'll show you later on. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be talking about is just give me a second here. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the emphasis, right? So with listener, there isn't anything that you can do. You just can add pauses in here, and you just click on tuning. So they only have adjusting the volume here, and remember I talked about the pronunciation editor. You can't really type out what you want it to be pronounced as. You can only choose between some of the different types of item that you will be talking about. It's a date, or it's a particular unit or address or telephone, right? So that's the only way that you can do it with listener. So there's no emphasis, there's no reading rate, no real pronunciation editor, and no pitch adjustment at all. Okay, so let me just remove this. Okay, next, with Play HT here, we can change the pronunciation, right? So you can actually put your own text in here, right? You can add your own custom text in here. This is pretty much similar to listener, but you can even put your own pronunciation, and you can adjust the tone, right, which is the reading rate, the pitch, the volume, emphasis, right? You can do all that, and pause as well, and you can set global pauses and pronunciation and reading rate as well. With Lovo, you can increase the speed of the sentences, right, or the speed of the entire project itself, right? And you can add pauses and emphasis, right? So you can just, when you click on this, you can start to emphasize, right? Okay, something like that, right? So you can put in emphasis with Play HT, with Lovo. Okay, so let's convert this again.
You need to change your beliefs, because your current beliefs are why your goals haven't manifested.
Okay, right, so this is Lovo emphasis. Okay, but there's no pitch changing in Lovo itself. Okay, so from here you can see that Lovo has, I would say, has the best voices. We can even try a different one if we want to. Let's look for something. Let's try like a more French sounding voice here.
What you believe to be true has a direct impact on what you can achieve. Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something.
Okay, this is a little bit robotic, right? The quality is good, but it's a little bit robotic. Let's try this lady over here. Lady voice.
Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something. The only limitations we have in life are those we self-impose.
Can you hear that, right? This is like so much more realistic. Okay, and we can even try a this Korean sounding one.
Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something. 다 only limitation 주의 have in life와 도주의 셀프, 아이미터 포즈.
Okay, so I guess they are converting it into Korean. Let's try a different lady. Let's filter this. Okay. Let's try this one. Let's try this one here.
Never allow someone to tell you that you cannot do something.
Right, so it's a lot more realistic, right? So this is, let's say we try and find premium voices and ladies. Okay, let's try this one here.
The IBM text-to-speech service converts written text into natural-sounding audio in a variety of languages and voices.
Okay.
Life is short, as everyone knows. When I was a kid, I used to wonder about this. Is life actually short, or are we really complaining about its finiteness? Would we be just as likely to feel life was short if we lived 10 times?
The IBM text-to-speech service converts written.
Yep, so you can tell like whatever it's in Lovo seems to be a lot more realistic. Let's try this one, right, which is Henry here.
The IBM text-to-speech service converts written text into natural sounding audio in a variety of languages and voices.
Right, so it's still not really very good, right? I think this is where it's kind of missing, right? Same goes for listener as well. So if you are looking for really good voices, I would say that listener is not the best choice. Lovo would be the one that you want to go for. Okay, so let's talk about the audio player next, right? So this is the audio player that you have in listener. So you have a light version and a dark version, and pretty much you can only adjust the volume, fast forwarding and stuff like that, and play button, and it has the listener branding over here. Okay, but with Play HT, let's go to their audio player. Okay, so this is the audio player here.
Welcome to Play.ht. Feel free to customize this player to perfectly fit your website or blog.
Okay, so whether you want to turn on the black background or not, you can turn this on. Whether you want to allow download, okay, so you can even put a download, right? Speed button, so you want to have it played at a faster rate, you can do so. You can enable share buttons, email subscription. You can remove the branding itself, right? So you can have a share message and all that over here, right? So it's a lot more customizable and feature rich for the player itself. So you can click and have people subscribe or have them download or stuff like that, right? So with Lovo, with a listener, the features aren't so rich. There's no player in Lovo itself, and there's no WordPress plugin for listener, right? And because there's no player, so Lovo does not even have a WordPress plugin, just Play HT itself. So they do have a WordPress plugin that you can install, okay, and easily get the embed your audio player in here. And so they have a Chrome extension, but this is actually the medium Chrome extension, where it actually adds your audio, right, embeds the audio player onto Medium pages itself, right? So, but with the listener Chrome extension, it works a little bit differently, right? And then we have the number of voices, right? So I made a mistake, right? With PlayHD, they do have 100 over voices as well, but they all have a lot of voices for you to choose from. And then next we have the podcast hosting, so you can actually create your own show in Listener itself, and PlayHD as well. You can go on to podcast hosting and create your own podcast, and you can actually add background music into your audio in Nuvo. Right, so you can click on this and choose an audio that you want. These are all royalty-free music from Band Sound. Right, so you don't have that option in Listener and PlayHD. And Chrome extension for Listener, which I have gone through in my previous video, so do check that out. So before I end off this video, I would just like to say that how to choose between these three. I would say if I were to choose, between these three options, I would go for Listener or Lovo, because with Lovo you get really good voices, and if that's very realistic voices that you require, then go for Lovo. But if you want to have other features, such as use it as a text-to-speech for converting articles into a readable, listenable format, you can do so with Listener. So I would say if you're looking for a multi-purpose kind of tool, then Listener is the one to go with. But if you're looking for good human-like voices, definitely get Lovo for your text-to-speech too. Okay, so if you have any other questions or comments, feel free to comment in my video below, and do give my video a thumbs up and share this with your friends. Hey, what up, decisive marketers, and in this video we're going to be talking about some LMSs, or what we call learning management systems. It's for you to hold your online courses and live stream your classes, live classes, run pre-recorded classes as well, and the two different tools that we're going to be talking about is Spayee and Acado. And today's video, I would say that it took a long time to create this, because with LMSs they are always usually very feature rich, and to actually compare the features between them side by side, it actually takes quite a bit of effort, right? But I'm glad I did this, because it gives me a very good idea of which tool I want to be going with, and I do have one in mind, which I'll share my thoughts. But both are great tools. You just kind of need to choose the one that works for you, right? So before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing or e-commerce content. And if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out our Facebook group. The link is in the video description. Right, so let's dive in. Right, I've already created a huge table comparing both of them, and here we are. So with Spayee's plan, how you only get a single academy, right? So what that means is you can only have a school, right? A single school. So if you want to have a school for the decisive digital marketing school and decisive cooking school, that's not possible with Spayee, but that's actually possible with Acado, depending on the plan that you have. Right, depending on the plan that you have. Courses are unlimited on both students or users. Spayee is actually unlimited, while Acado is limited by the plan that you have. Right, limited by the plan that you have. Quizzes are available, assignments are available, bookmarks, these are not available on Spayee. Notes are also not available on Spayee. I'm going to show you what I mean by bookmarks and notes, right? So we are in Acado student view right now. So I'm actually in Connector here. I'm actually a student of my own academy, okay, and this is what you can see over here on the rightmost sidebar here. You have notes, so you can put your own private notes, you can put discussion, you can put bookmarks as well. Of course, I can't put any bookmarks in here because I already completed this course over here, right? So let's jump back into let's go into SPEI. Okay, so this is SPEI right here, and you will see that they have a discuss. This is the lesson in here. I don't have any content, but you can actually click on discuss here, and you can actually ask questions and put in hashtags in your post, right? So this is SPEI, right? And discussions are available on both. Certificates are given on both. Ratings, I made a mistake here, right? So Acado does ask you for your ratings. Okay, does ask you for your ratings. Both are available. Okay, so whenever you finish your course, you could ask for a rating or review. It's available on both. Drip content is available on both, so you can schedule let's say week 1 you will show lesson 1, right? Week 2 lesson 2, something like that. Okay, and gamification is not available on SPEI, but it's available on Acado. So let me just kind of show you where it is. Okay, so in Acado, sorry, it's over here. If you go into admin, go into settings, they have a gamification feature, but take note that gamification is only available depending on the plan that you have. Okay, so you can allocate certain points for certain actions, and you can then upgrade their levels based on the number of points that they have. And if they achieve certain milestones, you can also offer certain badges over here, right? So this is not available in SPEI. Okay, email marketing is not available on SPEI, but it's available on Acado. But Acado works a little differently. Let me just show you in the settings. Sorry, it's in the admin page. You just need to go into SMTP. Okay, the only way Acado does not offer the outgoing mail service, so you need to integrate your own. You need to set up your own over here. So you need to have a outgoing mail server, and it can do drip emails for you, right? And so Acado does not actually send does the sending for you. You have to connect your own email service to have it sent out through Acado, right? But it's a nifty feature, I would say. And the SPEI does have push notifications. So if we go into SPEI right here, if you go into Messenger, right, they do have a push notification feature, web push, mobile push, and referral marketing. So that's actually available in SPEI. So if you go into marketing under refer and earn, you can actually allow your students to refer other people into the classes as well, and they get credits, and these credits can then be used to exchange for other courses that they have, that you have. Okay, right? And so that's referral marketing. It's not available in Acado. SPEI has a credit feature, right? So when you refer people, you get credits. With Acado, that's not available. Gamification is not available in sorry, I think I already it's a duplicate over here, my apologies. So the next one is mobile app. So I think this part is where it kind of starts to you kind of see the differences between the both of them. With Spei, right, they actually will be giving you a general app. It's their own branding on it, but anyone can use it and it's part of the plan. But with Acado, it is they have not come up with a mobile app, and it's still undecided if it's going to be included in the plan that you get from Acado, or would it be an additional fee, right? And for white label apps, that means with your own branding, with Spei, they do charge an additional fee for you to create your own white label apps. With Acado, it's of course not unsure at the moment, right? So for live classes, pre-recorded classes, that's available in Spei and Acado. Leaderboard, it's because there's gamification, right? So Acado has a leaderboard, but with Spei it's not available. Spei, however, has a affiliate center. Okay, so let me just kind of show you the leaderboard first, because the leaderboard is actually pretty interesting. If you click on the trophy here, it shows you where your position is, right? And maybe you can offer certain points in here. These are the certificates that you've achieved as well. And let's jump into the affiliate center in Spei, right? So it's over here, affiliate settings. Okay, so they do have an affiliate, right? So you can give commissions for your courses, right? Okay, so you can give commissions if they refer students that sign up with your courses. And you can have there is API and third-party integrations within Spei and Acado, but it depends on the plan that you have. Okay, and also for Acado, they do have webhooks that's not available in Spei itself. Alright, so before we end the video, I have some thoughts about these two different tools. And personally, if you are focusing more on the marketing aspect of your courses, I would say that Spei is actually a better option, because they do have a mobile app, they do have push notifications inbuilt, they have affiliate center inbuilt as well, which Acado does not have. But Acado does have gamification, so if you have students in Acado, they would likely have a better experience learning in Acado. But with Spei, that's actually not available, right? They don't have any gamification features. Okay, and if you were to ask me also, the next other thing would be the plan that the way that Spei and Acado structures their plan. Spei gives you unlimited students and users, so you can keep selling or getting students into your courses without having to worry at all. But with Acado, you got to make sure that if you run a free course and you widely market it, everyone signs up, that's going to be a problem with Acado. But with Spei, it's unlimited, right? So you can keep getting users into Spei and you don't have to worry at all. Okay, so pretty much I would say that between these two tools, I would choose Spei, right? Because I'm more of a marketing person. I want to focus on getting students into my courses. That's more important than the gamification features, right? So pretty much that's all in this video. Let me know your thoughts. Do comment below, right? Let me know your thoughts by commenting below. Hey, what up, decisive marketers, and in this video we're going to be talking about UEngage. UEngage is a form tool that you can use it to generate leads from quizzes, polls, surveys, forms, and what makes UEngage different from other form tools out there is that they have an interactive event quiz feature, right? It's not just a quiz, but you can use it for surveys as well, right? And you can have it as an interactive form similar to Kahoot, where you can have a presentation view and your users can be on their mobile and answering those quizzes. Okay, so before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more digital marketing or e-commerce content, and if you are a software or lifetime deal enthusiast, be sure to check out the link in my video description to join our community. Right, so let's get started with UEngage. Right now I'm in UEngage, and the plan that I have over here is the business plan, which allows me to remove branding. It allows me to have custom domain and a few other features, right? So let's dive into the form tool over here. So it's a very simple form that they have here that you can use it to create with many different form tools out there, such as block survey, fluent forms, and all the other different form tools. So over here we're going to use the Game of Thrones, right? So let's try with the Game of Thrones project over here, right? So this is something that I've already done, right? So this is how it looks like, and you can also change the design. Okay, so you can set, for example, if it's a required answer, you can have different design. You can have this kind of design for your form or survey or quiz, or you can have it like this, which is and this like this as well, similar to similar design to something like Typeform, right? And you have the design. This is where you set the design. You can change the button colors and stuff like that. And over here, this is where you configure your social shares, meaning your open graph images and text over here. That means the title and the description, right? If you have the business plan like myself, you can disable branding, or if you want, you can turn on branding and put in your own affiliate link that allows you to then help UEngage get more customers, while you also make some affiliate commissions as well, right? So the next one is the language. So you are able to translate quizzes into these languages that they support right now, right? And custom variables, these are where you set your custom variable URLs for tracking, right? So they work similar to like UTM codes. And next is integration, right? So they have these are the integrations that they have, and they also have a webhook feature as well, right? So next is distribute, right? If I'm not mistaken, right, webhook is only available for like the professional plan and above, right? Professional plan and above. Only custom domain is available for business plan. So next is distribute. So you can send the link to your quiz or via QR code, or embedding them on your web page itself, right? And then the last one is the analyze feature, where the analyze tab here that tells you a little bit more about how your quiz is performing, right? So this is where you build your standard form, right? So the next one is oh, I forget to mention that they also have conditional logic. So you can switch to logic and you can set the logic, right? So if, for example, if the first question is someone answers he can't be, then he will be skipping the fourth question, something like that. So you can set these conditional logic with you engage, right? So the next one is the one that we want to be talking about, which is the interactive quiz feature. So you can click on new event. So okay, so we are going to create a quiz here. We're going to call this Money Masters, right? So you can have different kind of question type over here. So let's say picture choice, you can then click, and the cool thing is that what they have here is a search in Google Images feature. So I can just search and pick a picture and insert it in very easily, right? Let's say the next one is okay, so you can put in this image over here, and you can even show a correct answer like this, right? And whether you want to show results as well. So show results is appearing on the presentation or the presenter screen, right? Okay, so you can put in description, or you can put in a picture as well. Okay, and you can change the design like this as well, right? So they have different design, right? And then we can have a multiple choice over here, right? And then you can have so let's put in okay, and then right, so let's have something like this. Okay, so so what we're going to do now is then move on to the you can switch over to the design, so then you can change the design of your form, and you can click on chat, right? So the cool thing is that they have a chat feature while people are answering quizzes and stuff like that. Next is you can set the message direction, and you can have a rounded or square avatars, and you can tweak the design in here. So for example, I want to have a grayish design, maybe have a white color here. Okay, and the text is white. Let's try a different background, right, something like that. And there we go, right? So we will move on to the next one, which is configure. This is where you set the header, any header images. You can replace the header image with in fact with a video as well. So let's say I'm going to embed this video in here, right? So I can actually paste it in here like that. Okay, so then the form is going to show as a it will show a video instead of the header images, right? And then how you want to rename your tabs here. So settings, if you want to allow people to change the answers, and if you're a lot of users, then you might want to turn this on as well. Languages, this is pretty much the same as before. Then the last one is manage, right? So we are ready to kind of go live with our interactive quiz over here. So let me paste this in, and let me paste this in as well, and all I need to do now is to turn it on, right? So there we go, we have the event started just like this. Okay, event just like that, and they have a chat feature here, right? So they have a chat feature here. Okay, so then we got the chat going on. Okay, so You can turn on advanced if you want to show answers, and maybe you want to stop accepting responses here. Okay, and the next thing is that if you switch this over to the chat mode, okay, and you go to chat, if I type in something, right, I can then see the chat moving in here, and I can moderate the chat. So like I could, if someone says something inappropriate, I could then block their messages, right, hide their messages, and I can feature certain messages in here as well, right? So this is pretty much how the U-Engage works, right? And I kind of really like what U-Engage does, because it gives me an interactive form that I can use it for my events. I don't think I will get a lot of use out of it, to be honest, because I don't use Kahoot that much, but I think it will be useful when we organize certain large-scale events and niche type of large-scale events, and we can add in certain quizzes and give certain prizes away. I think that's very interesting. I think what is missing with U-Engage right now to be as good as a something like Kahoot is that they need a countdown feature before a quiz starts, right? A countdown feature, countdown to the next question, elects showing the right answer after the countdown. I think that's kind of what is missing to get it really good. And if they are able to also add in some sound notification, okay, or even some music, and that would be awesome, right? So this is kind of how it looks like, right? Because if I turn on to the chat mode, this is what it looks like. And then this is the quiz mode. So it's kind of it's not as exciting as Kahoot right now, but you are able to remove branding and stuff like that, which and you can use it as a normal form and also an interactive form. So I kind of like this, and I think I'm going to keep my business plan, but I'm really excited to see what they'll bring as they progress, as they develop their tool even more, right? So I would love to see countdown features. Also a leaderboard would be nice as well. So after every question you can show a leaderboard, who is the top, right? So then you get people excited and competing, and I think that's really nice. So pretty much I think that's all for U-Engage. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button and share this video with your friends. If you Hey, what's up, decisive marketers? And in this video I'm going to be comparing content optimizer tools between Phrase, Outranking, and WriterZen. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content on digital marketing and e-commerce. So let's dive in. So we're going to be talking about Phrase, Outranking, and WriterZen. And after testing out all these three different tools, okay, this is a comparison table that I've come up based on features that I realize that I need when I'm writing. Okay, so with the outline builder, okay, Phrase works from people also ask and top contents current outline. Okay, but only when the keyword is mentioned. Okay, so what do I mean by this? So let's go to Phrase, right? If you create a document itself within your sidebar, within your right sidebar, you would actually see the entire outline of the top two pages of the Google search results within your local Google search, and this is actually what you get over here, right? And it's only showing, right, the sections when the keyword actually appears. So it doesn't actually show the entire outline of the content over here. Okay, and let's look at Okay, and also you can actually make use of their outline builder over here. And for the outline builder, okay, so let's say this is my keyword here. Okay, it will take the keyword that you entered in here and show you some of the autocomplete keywords, and based on those autocomplete keywords it generates a bunch of questions that are actually from the Google people also ask, or featured snippets, and Quora questions, as well as Reddit questions, right? Reddit questions. And from here you can select the questions and create your outline. Alright, and you can move them around like this. Okay, so this is the outline builder for phrase. Outranking does not have an outline builder, and for Writer Zen, it works on the top content's current outline, but it only shows up to the H2, right? So let me show you what I mean over here. If we go to content creator, let's put in Facebook ads successful and click add. Okay, so Facebook ads successful. Okay, and you can put in your writer's name. I'll talk because with Writer Zen right now they don't actually have a team member feature, so you can put in your writer name so that you can kind of differentiate between the content itself if you are sharing the account. Okay, and you can put a deadline just to make sure that you are keeping up with the content. So if I click on add right now, it is actually searching and scraping the first 2 pages of the local Google search results for the keyword that you have entered. Okay, so it's taking a while right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, so and how it works is based on if you want to create an outline over here, all you need to do is just click here, and you can add the outline in here just like that. It's very quick and fast, right? Very quick and fast, right? And then you can add from different articles as well, so you can build your outline very very quickly like this. Okay, but it only gives you up to the H2 headings, right? So if you want to go deeper in the content, Writer Zen is lacking a little bit here. Okay, then the next one is keyword volume data. So for phrase, it is a paid add-on, right? So you got to pay a monthly fee, monthly subscription on top of the base plan with phrase, right? And then with outranking, the keyword volume data is included. So let me show you over here. So if I click on related keywords, okay, they actually tell you the keywords, the keyword search volume in here, right? The keyword search volume in here. And for let's see, so let's go back here, and for Writer Zen, it's over here, right? So you can actually go to Keyword Explorer, right? And let's say we click on this one, it tells you the keyword search volume over here. Okay, it tells you the keyword search volume over here. Alright, and you get keyword clusters as well, and that is Writer Zen. Okay, next is the title optimizer. Title optimizer, only Outranking has the title optimizer, meta description optimizer, and the URL optimizer. So when you are creating your content, okay, they actually give you some title ideas, some meta descriptions, and you can also create your URL. So they will actually tell you, okay, so let's say your URL, so you want to put in these keywords. So Facebook ad successful at bid. So for example, if I were to create this document, I'll just put in my URL, and then I'll put something like this, right? Facebook dash ads dash successful dash sorry, I missed the S over here, and dash add dash bit, just like that. Okay, and then I can click on refresh, and you know, it tells me that I've fulfilled the the words that's required in the URL slug itself. Okay, so that's the cool thing. And with meta description, they do have that as well. With Writer Zen, they kind of have a optimizer. It's not really an optimizer, but is a it's just a keyword count, right? It's just a keyword count. So let's say I just click on begin writing. Nope, sorry, let's go back to outline. They just kind of give you a title and description, keyword count, right? Character count over here, right? So it's not really an optimizer, just a keyword count, right? This is sorry, character count. And we have the meta description optimizer, right? The meta description optimizer, we've also covered that as well. And for the content optimizer with phrase, it is based on the keyword density data from the top results. So this is so if you go to phrase, and when you try to optimize a article, let's say this one over here, and how it optimizes the article is based on the keyword density. So let's just kind of wait for it to crawl all this data. It's taking a while, but it's almost done soon. So what phrase does is that it crawls the first 2 pages of the search results. Okay, and if you click on topic score, okay, so it actually tells you you know, where your article is. Okay, where your article is, you know, are you hitting those keyword density goals for the keyword that you want to optimize for. And for outranking, it is based on keyword cluster. I actually do not know how it works in Writer Zen, because they don't actually put the title of what these columns are. So over here I do know that these are keywords, but I believe these are, you know, keyword search volume. But this one, I have no idea what it is, and within the documentation itself, it does not share what this particular column is as well, because the documentation is not updated yet. So so I believe this is somehow related to the content optimization, right? But I'm not too sure if that is what it is. Okay, and the next one is for Writer Zen. It's a bit more so as you go to step 2 when you're creating the project, right? So it already suggests certain keywords that you're supposed to put in, and these are some competitors keyword that you should put it in as well. So you can just click on plus and it adds more keyword in there. Sorry, let's go back here, and they have some opportunity keywords that you can add in as well. So they would already have suggested you certain things, and you can even add your own keyword here, which is something that phrase actually does not have such a feature at the moment. But with Writer Zen, that is what you have. So with the plagiarism checker, only Writer Zen has that, and readability checker, only Outranking has that. So with Writer Zen, when you go into your content writing step itself, they actually have a plagiarism check. So once you're writing, you can just click on this and it will check your article for any plagiarism. As for this readability checker, you can actually click on the SEO score here, the overview, and it will actually tell you what the readability of your article is, right? So this, it tells you that it's a, you know, kind of 5th grade person could of education, you know, the person could understand this piece of article itself. Okay. And lastly, in terms of AI writing, Phrase does not have any AI writing features. WriterZen does not have any AI writing features at all. With Phrase, you can write headings, you can do paraphrasing, and you can do FAQ answers. Okay, but with outranking, it has you can write meta descriptions. You can assist you in writing. So if you write let's say a couple of sentences, let's say 5 sentences, and you're not sure how to move forward, you can use outranking to generate it. So let me just kind of show you. So you can just click on AI write, and you can actually click on continue with paragraph. So they have the meta description writer here, answer question and featured snippet generation as well. Right, and for Phrase, what they have is a paraphrase tool, right, and they'll tell you, right, because this is a little bit too long, so right, so they can show you some different ways to rewrite your content, your sentences, and it can write headings for you as well. So that's what Phrase does, and it can answer your FAQ questions as well, right? Phrase has a generate content brief feature, so before you get started on writing, you kind of need to know. So let me just kind of show you this portion here. Okay, so there is a automate brief feature here. Let me just put it at the bottom here. Right, you can click on automate brief, and it tells you firstly, insert brief into editor. Okay, so this content brief is very good if you want to be getting someone else to write your content, because first you just need to put in your goal, your target audience, any deadline, who is the one writing here, or the project owner. So it tells you how many words you have to write, total how many headings you have to write, and some references that the writer can follow, so that they get a better idea of the topic itself, and topic clusters and keywords that they should include within the content itself. Okay, so this is Phrase. And but with outranking and WriterZen, it doesn't have that at all. There's no team member feature with WriterZen, and for competitor research itself, Phrase is only based on the content. So Phrase is just comparing content to content, right? But with outranking, it includes the domain authority and page authority data, and this data is likely from Moz, although they don't actually reveal where they get this data from, but I believe it comes from Moz, because that's the best, because I did a search, and that's the only time that they mention about domain authority. It comes from Moz itself, within their outrankings blog itself. Okay, so you can actually click on research, and they would tell you they will actually tell you the the domain authority, the page authority, the number of backlinks they have to this page itself, and how many words they have. Right, so this is what they have over here. And with WriterZen, they actually have, if you go to Keyword Explorer, let's click on this one over here. It actually gives you Ahrefs data. Okay, so it gives you some Ahrefs data over here, which is the ranking of the Ahrefs of this site's Ahrefs data, the rank itself, and then the number of backlinks that they have for the site, and the referring domains to the site, and the UR and DR over here. So that's what WriterZen actually gives you, right? So so that's the comparison over here. So let's talk about some pros and cons between these tools. So for phrase, I think that it gives much better data because it gives local Google search and keyword density, right? Because the optimization is based on keyword density, how many times you actually mention the keyword within your article itself, and you can generate a content brief, right, so that you can quickly give it to a writer, and he or she would likely know how to start writing based on the content brief that you gave them. And the cons is that it doesn't have title, URL, and meta description optimization, and it doesn't and it doesn't have AI copywriting, right? So because the AI is based on it's based on NLG, so it doesn't write content in a way or in a manner that is optimized for copywriting. And usually with the title and meta description, that's where you want to copyright so that you can improve your click-through rate, right? And then the put it on for the keyword volume data as well, so you got to pay additional for this feature. However, what I would say is that you can just make use of Google keyword planner for this data itself. For outranking, the pros and cons are that it has title, meta description, and URL optimization. But the cons are the keyword research data is based on just some cluster of keywords, and it's not. You don't really know how to optimize the article, right? And because it doesn't have any keyword density at all, and no outline builder, right? So as if you are writing from outranking, the downside is that it takes a lot more effort to get started. But it's actually much better if in a way that if you want to optimize your article itself. I would say that outranking could be slightly better in that sense, but at the same time it lacks keyword density. So I kind of find it neither here nor there. Okay, and then for WriterZen, it has plagiarism checker, it has Ahrefs data for competition research, but there is no team member feature right now. So some final thoughts is that I still think that phrase is the best due to the local Google search feature and the keyword density based on content optimization. However, I would say that WriterZen is a very close competitor against phrase, because it also has very similar features as well. And the best and the cool thing is that it has some Ahrefs data, some off-page SEO data of your competitors as well. Okay, but and before I end off, I would say that I would rank them. Phrase would be the best, would be number one in my opinion. Alright, and then number two would be WriterZen. Okay, the downside is that it doesn't have AI writing, and some features are missing. But I would say in terms of writing itself, I think that content optimization itself, I think that the WriterZen is actually built well for it. Okay, and but before I end off, I just want to kind of say that I hope that as we move along with these content optimization tools, as they mature, I hope to see annotation features, so that if I'm editing a writer's work on phrase or outranking or WriterZen in the future, if they have team member feature, I would able to edit and show those edits to my writer, so that they can learn what kind of content I'm looking for. Okay, and on top of NLG, right? NLG is the phrase AI model, right? They should also include GPT-3 model only for meta description generation, right? Because with meta description, it doesn't matter if you have the keyword inserted within the meta description itself anymore. Since like 12 years ago, meta description has keywords within meta description has never affected search results at all, right? Except click-through rate, which does affect your ranking. Okay, and for the phrase and writer zen as well should include title, URL, and meta description optimization, because that's going to help you, especially with the URL optimization, it's going to help you to rank higher much faster. And I would say also that I didn't include in this list is to have a sort of a TF, IDF, and URL optimization feature of your entire website itself. So with phrase is able to actually analyze your entire site, but with writer zen and with outranking right now it's not able to, right? So just let me kind of show you what do I mean by that. With phrase, if you go into Google traffic, so oops, I think it's not working well right now. Okay, so for phrase, okay, there we go, right? Oops, let me just take a look. Okay, here it is, it's loading over here. So with phrase, it has this Google traffic tab over here in the menu. You can actually hook up your domain itself, and it will actually analyze you can actually connect your Google search console data with phrase, and it can use those data and sort of do a cross-reference or comparison with your website's content, and tell you where some content gaps you have on your website, so you want to kind of build them or optimize them. So for example, Velcro shoe, elderly woman, it tells me to create this content so that I could rank for these keywords, and for certain content they recommend me to optimize those content. Okay, optimize those content. So that's something that I see in phrase that's actually not available in writer zen or outranking, because they just optimize content based on the content itself and not actually looking at your entire website, because you don't want to be writing two pieces of content that are similar and are actually competing against each other in the Google search results itself, right? So this is something that I feel that is lacking with outranking and writer zen. Okay, and it is also able to do keyword research, including off-page difficulty score. Right, so sometimes you may want to start writing a piece of content, but you could write a bit better piece of content than all your competitors. But if the competitor has a very strong off-page SEO, you may not want to write a piece of content to compete against them, because it's going to take you a lot more effort to rank for that piece of article, because they got a lot of backlinks flowing into it and so on, right? So off-page SEO difficulty score would help you to have better idea whether you want to tackle this piece of content or not, right? And this can easily be done by having some Ahrefs data or API connecting to these content optimizer tools. And lastly would be having plagiarism checking built in, having grammar, spelling, and readability checking built in as well. And this is everything that I have to share about these 3 different tools. And I would say that Phrase is still ahead, but WriterZen is actually very close behind. Outranking, however, does their features are kind of here and there. They try to kind of do everything right now, so they would probably need some time before they get kind of get good in every single area that they're actually working on. And that's all for me. If you like to support me, please go ahead and click on the affiliate links that I have in the video description, and these links are not going to cost you any additional fee at all. You'll not be paying anything extra, but it helps me to make a small commission so that I could continue to create content like this for you guys. Hey, what up, decisive marketers? And in this video we're going to be talking about Authoritas, how to use it, and make a comparison against Ahrefs. Now, Authoritas is a backlink competitor research tool that also comes with keyword research and rank tracking. And there is a very cool feature where you can actually make use of Authoritas to quickly outreach for backlinks. Right now, before we get started, before we jump in, if you enjoy digital marketing and e-commerce content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you like to join a community of software and lifetime deal enthusiasts, be sure to join my Facebook group, and the link is in the video description. Now let's dive into Authoritas. So this is the dashboard of Authoritas, and what you can see here is that the dashboard is pretty bare, and it's actually very tedious on your eyes because the fonts are so small, and there is nothing interesting, and the menu items are very vague, such as content 360, author discovery, things like that. Just doesn't tell us what it does well, and you just kind of have a very bad idea of how to navigate through the dashboard. And to make your experience better, I recommend that you zoom in. Right, if you are using a full HD monitor, I recommend you to zoom in, and that way the dashboard looks a lot easy on your eyes, right? So the cool thing about Authoritas is that it has a dashboard, customized dashboard feature. So you can create multiple dashboards and add multiple widgets within the dashboard itself that shows you different data, and so that you can easily look at your website SEO data easily, conveniently in the dashboard itself. Right, so there is a market analysis feature over here. Okay, sorry, before we get into this, right, let me just kind of show you, because Authoritas is actually they seem to be working on a new dashboard, and it actually looks a lot better than the current one that you're seeing right here. Okay, so this is actually their new dashboard, right? They have, it's just a lot more easy on the eyes, although it's a little bit smaller, so I'll still kind of zoom in so that I could see everything easily, right? And the new dashboard is only working for just a couple of features in here, so it doesn't work for everything. So you are at this point, if you're jumping into Authoritas, you are kind of switching between different versions of Authoritas here, right? So they have a market analysis feature here. Right, so I won't be diving into all the features, and I'm just going in and showing you some of the important ones and the ones that I actually find very interesting in Authoritas that is not really available in other tools. Okay, so with Authoritas over here, you can put in your competitors' websites. Let's say I were to put in Ahrefs. Okay, so you got to click on the website. Okay, and it will tell you the the number of keywords, the ranking URL. It kind of give you an overview of your competitor, you know, data itself, right? And you can see that they have 531 keywords. Okay, so sorry, let me just kind of switch this up a little bit. Let's put this as United States. Okay, and let's look at the data here. And see how accurate it is, right? So they have it shows that in the United States search engine itself, for Ahrefs, they have 27,481 keywords that are actually indexed in Google itself. So let's take a look at the data in Ahrefs. So I'm just going to put in ahrefs.com into Ahrefs itself, and let's look at the data over here. So it says that it has 202,000 keywords, but let's just kind of filter down to the United States data, and it shows 81,056 keywords that are actually indexed in Ahrefs, right? So with Authoritas, it is lacking in a lot of data over here, I would say. Okay, and kind of gives you an idea of their visibility index. Okay, and let's dive into the keyword features. So they have a keyword rank tracking, and we're going to look into the keyword explorer feature. So it's kind of hidden because you're kind of switching between different tools, right? Different dashboard itself. So with this one, right, you got to kind of click on something else like the page analysis, right? Because the keyword explorer is a new feature, and I would like to say that Authoritas data is actually pretty accurate, at least for the US Google itself, right? So let's say we were to search for iPhone. Okay, it's taking a while, right? So it shows 0, but once it's done, it kind of gives you better data over here. So it says that iPhone itself, the keyword has 1 million search volume a month in Google, right? So let's look at the data in Google Keyword Planner itself. So this data is actually coming directly from Google. So this data is definitely going to be much more accurate than whatever you see in anywhere else, right? So with but to get this precise data in Google Keyword Planner, you would have to run ads with Google Ads before they kind of show you this data here. So with iPhone, what Google Keyword Planner is showing is that it has 1.22 million searches per month, and so we can see some discrepancy over here. So let's look at the next one, Apple iPhone products, right? So let's look at that keyword and see how it works. Apple iPhone products. Okay, and you can see, right, I'm actually searching in US here. So the average monthly searches is 210. It shows here 320. So there's some discrepancy, right? Some keywords are higher, some keywords are lower. And let's just sort this. Okay, let's look at more keywords. Okay, a lot of spelling errors over here. So let's look for Apple phones. Right, Apple phones. Okay, so Apple phones is 301,000, and it is 246,000 over here, right? So I would say it is not entirely accurate, but it is pretty close, right? It's pretty close because what I've done with Ahrefs seems to give an even bigger discrepancy. So I'm just kind of show you right here. So let's put in Apple phones. Okay, and we're gonna search, and you can see it's 23,000. So and this is actually 246,000 here. This shows 23,000, right? So it's a much bigger discrepancy against Google Keyword Planner's data. So I would say that with Ahrefs keyword volume data, it's not very accurate at all. I wouldn't trust it, and in fact I would trust Authoritas data much more if you don't have access to Google Ads, Google Keyword Planner itself. And I'm not going to show you the rest of the feature. I'm just going to show you the FAQ Explorer here, and I would say that it seems to do a nice job when it comes to the because right now I'm actually in Singapore, so I'm just going to use the Singapore region over here and look at the FAQ questions, right? So this is actually generating the okay, so it's not able to find anything, it seems. Let me just refresh and see if there's anything. Okay, never mind. Let's look at this previous one that I actually searched for, and I use the US region. Okay, US region, and you can see you know, the FAQ questions in here, right? So I've already done some search, right? So the first one is, what is Ahrefs? So what is Ahrefs actually? Over here it says it shows a help center article in here, which is accurate, right? So it's, then the next one is Ahrefs free, right? So let's look at that. So it's accurate as well. Okay, and is Ahrefs worth the money, right? So is Ahrefs worth the money? So it's correct as well. It's linking to, it's showing a backlink code. Okay, so this is actually accurate, right? So with Authoritas, right? So it's actually giving you very good. You know, people also ask questions, so that these can all come in, and you can write content based on this question, so that you can try and take over the featured snippet within Google itself. Okay, featured snippet within Google itself, and you can hook up your search console in here, and there is a content 360 feature here, which you know, I have not actually cropped it fully, so it's not able to get any data right now. So what uh, what Content 360 does is that it gives you an it does kind of what do you call that, on-site SEO search, right? Sorry, on-site SEO audit, right? On-site SEO audit, and it kind of tells you in terms of some issues you have in terms of your content, right? How many links you have, how many outgoing links, external links, and some of the keywords that are ranking for this page itself. That's what Content 360 does. It gives you an overview of your content itself. So the next one is link data. So this is actually what we all want to be looking at, because this is the pie, right? So this is the, you know, the price, right, for us all, right? So the cool thing that it does over here, so I'm just going to put in this website over here. Okay, so this is a website that I own, and actually put it to test in Authoritas, and you can see that sorry, so this should be my website, my other website over here. Okay, now let's just use this one. We can just switch it over to this website, and you can see that it shows me 154 websites that are linking to me. But in Ahrefs, I actually get a data of 387, and I would say that I definitely trust Ahrefs data way more than Authoritas, because uh, with Ahrefs, their crawl bots are way more active around the internet, right? So I would say that Ahrefs data is definitely much more accurate and updated than Authoritas, but it's not too far off, right? I mean, if you still want to get some data, that's what it does. And let's look at the do follow links. Okay, you can just apply here, and we can see that there are 112 do follow links. And let's look at what we have over here, and we actually show 285 referring domains, right? So this shows 112 referring domains with do follow links, but I actually get 285 links over here, right? So one thing cool about Authoritas is that, okay, so it actually tells you is your keyword in backlinks, and okay, so it doesn't actually, okay, so it actually tells you the anchor text as well, right? So it tells you what the anchor text as well. So the anchor text is wheelchair, and that's what is showing in here as well. But the way that the Ahrefs present this data is a lot nicer. So let's click on, let's look for this website, right? It's Howard something. Let's look for that. Okay, this one over here. So the way that it presents is, in a nicer way. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, and the cool thing over here is that if you look at some of these websites, they tell you if they are it kind of tells you what their social media links are. So you got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got LinkedIn in here, right? So this makes it super easy for you to reach out to these websites and get them to link to you. So for example, let's look for someone who has a LinkedIn. Okay, so let's say this one. Okay, all you need to do is just click on this, and it opens up and it finds their LinkedIn instantly, and you can then try to reach out to them and get a backlink from them, right? So all you need to do is just put in your competitor's domain, look at their backlinks, and instantly you can be clicking on their social media and reaching out to them directly, right? Okay, or of course you can add it to a campaign, and from the campaign you try to look for the decision maker and get them to place a link back to your website. Okay, and they have a auto discovery feature here as well, which I don't really use it. Okay, so let's say we put Ahrefs in here. Okay, and we can find the author. So the author is Tim Solo, who is the head of marketing at Ahrefs, and we kind of find out how. So if you're running a blog, right, and you are your visibility is very important to you, with the author feature, right, it tells you how many followers they have, how many uh, you know uh, how many followers they have, how many tweets, and all the social media data is actually presented to you, which domains they actually write on, right? So he wrote on Moz, Ahrefs, Beanstalks, their blog, right? All the content is in there as well, and some of the keywords that are ranking for his articles that he has written is also all in here as well, right? I mean, it's not all in here, but it gives you a good idea, right, for what he has. Okay, Okay, so that's the auto discovery. There is a browser feature as well, but I don't I don't really use it at all. Okay, I don't really use it at all because pretty much just kind of lets you view the website itself, and you can set up campaigns and contacts so that you can reach out to people for getting backlinks to them, right? So it kind of works like a little CRM system for backlink outreach as well. So that's what I kind of like about Authoritas, right? So all in all, I would say that Authoritas, it seems pretty okay for what it does. I mean, of course, if you were to compare to Ahrefs, you gotta be paying about $100 about $99 a month just for the light plan itself. With Authoritas, they give you like 5,000 keywords for rank tracking, uh, up to 15,000 a month, in fact, and which is actually very generous for their plan, right? So I would say, Authoritas, I think it is a good buy, right? So if you don't have a competitor uh, comparison tool, competitor research tool for SEO itself, Authoritas can be a good option for you. Right, so and that's all for this video. If you'd like to see more content, hey, what's up, decisive marketers? And in this video we're going to be doing a deep dive between Snove, Sales Rocks, and Sales Bling drip campaign features. Okay, in my previous video I've already shared with you that let me just kind of open slides over here. In my previous video I've already shared with you that a comparison between Tomba, Snove, Sales Bling, and Sales Rocks, right? So a lot of people are still thinking, should I grab Sales Bling? Should I stick with Sales Rocks? And so on. So I'm just going to make a comparison specifically on what Sales Bling does best, which is the drip campaigns. Okay, but take note that if you want to be using Sales Bling, there is actually no email warming feature right now. Same goes for Snove. There's no email warming feature right now. It's much recommended that you get a email warmer to go with any of these tools, because that will help you to reach the inbox better. And if you are using Sales Rocks, it already has an email warmer which you can already kickstart. So right now I'm going to show you the difference between these three tools. So let's get going. So let's take a look at Snove first. So this is the drip campaign dashboard over here. So we can see that they have 4 different modules here. You got the email, we got trigger, we got delay, we got goal here. Alright, so firstly let's look at the email over here. And one thing very interesting that they have is a add variant feature. So you can actually do an A/B testing with Snove, and you can send out different emails and see which works better for you. Okay, and with the trigger function, you are able to trigger based on open, clicks, or unopens, right? So which is no unopens. Okay, then we have delay and go. Goal is more for to track if you are achieving your goals, that's all. And we have Sales Rocks, and you will see that they only have 3 modules here. They only have email, condition, and delay, and we can only track based on open, unopened, and clicked. So these are the 3 different conditions that we can track based on whether the prospect did or did not. Okay, so then let's look at Sales Bling over here. The first thing that they have is that they have 5 different templates for you to choose from to get started immediately. Okay, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to click start from scratch, and let's look at some of the blocks that they have. They have an email block, they have a call block, they have a LinkedIn message block, they have a LinkedIn request block. Okay, so because it's omni-channel, you can make calls, you can use LinkedIn to reach out to them as well, right? And then we got delay, and we got email open, email click. Okay, so this is similar to Sales Rocks and Snove already, but what they have here is an email reply. So you could trigger the next step if you receive a reply in the email. You've got call status, you got LinkedIn message reply, LinkedIn request accepted. Okay, so a lot of blocks over here, and the last one will be change the CRM stage. So a lot of blocks that we can work with over here with SalesBlink. Okay, so the cool thing about omni-channel is that if you can't reach the person via email, you can still try and send them a LinkedIn message or send make a call to them, right? So that's with SalesBlink. Okay, so the first thing is why do you want to have, in my opinion, I find that the email reply condition is very powerful, and why do you want to make use of that? So let's say you are doing paid guest posting outreach. So I'm just talking about SEO right now. Okay, let's use a different example. Let's use if you are trying to get a appointment. Okay, you're trying to get an appointment with a prospect. So the first thing is the new prospect comes in, you send them an email, hi, I'm Henry, I checked out your website, it sucks, right? Do you want us to help you with it? Okay, then you have a email reply. Okay, you have an email reply, and likely if the person is going to reply, they are keen on what you have to offer, right? They are interested in hearing more to what you have to offer. So now the next step is we're going to send another email that says, okay, that's great, could you book a meeting on my calendar and we can schedule a time so that we can speak, and I could share with you more on how you can improve your website to get more leads or sales. Okay, so then you send an email. Then at this point, what you can do is you can have a you could maybe do a link click if you want to, and if they click on the booking calendar, you can then trigger a change in the CRM stage, and so that demo schedule, and you can speak to the person, right? So this is where you track who are you going to be meeting. Okay, so this is why the email reply feature is actually so powerful, right? Let's say we put in another scenario, right? So we are going to be doing paid guest post outreach. So we send an email, say, hey, could we guest post on your website? And then we get a reply, and likely the reply is going to say, okay, guest post, sure, $50, right? And then we'll send an email saying that, hey, this is too expensive, right? My boss not going to accept this. Could you see if you can do a better price so that we can move along with the guest posting opportunity, right? Then he replies saying, okay, I'll give you $35 for a guest post. And then you send an email and say, okay, that is great, right? $35, that sounds much better, but we are going to send 6 guest posts for you to be published. Could you see if you can give us a bulk discount? Okay, and then at this point, this is when you if you get a reply here, then you could then trigger a change in the CRM stage. Right, so can you see that the email reply is actually very powerful, because then you don't have to step in so quickly, so early in the stage, right? So that all the lead generation is done for you, all the filtering, all the lead generation is done for you, and you come in just to close the sale. You come in just to close the sale. If you are using Sales Rocks or you are using Snove, basically what you're doing is you're just sending out emails after emails if they don't reply, Basically, if they don't, you're just sending out emails after emails, just hoping that something happens, right? So that's not really, I would say that you have to come in very quickly whenever there's a reply, right? Whereas with Sales Blink, you can automate some of the replies. Okay, we can automate some of the replies and only jump in the process, the sales process, at a later stage. So that's the difference. I would say that with Sales Blink, you are able to free up a little bit more of your time. With Sales Rocks, with Snowf, you're not, you're not able to. You're just sending emails after emails if they don't reply. Okay, so I hope that you guys see the difference between Sales Blink, Sales Rocks, and Snowf, right? And if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. And if you feel that someone could benefit from this video, please share this with them,